It's time for Brewster Whitecaps baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Get out your camera, make a postcard. It is a picture-perfect afternoon for baseball here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts, where the Red Sox and the Whitecaps are set to complete their home and home here on this gorgeous Sunday evening here on Cape Cod. Carter Waddiel and Aiden Doyle here with you. Maura Sheridan will be hopping on in just a minute or two for us. And Aiden, this is a big game for Brewster. This is the last team on the Cape that the Whitecaps haven't beat, and Jamie Shevchik is confident that's going to change tonight.
Yeah, he made another bold prediction after last night's loss to these same Red Sox at Stony Brook Field, saying we're going to beat them tomorrow as in today. I can promise you that. And he's done pretty well as far as these bold predictions so far, whether it be Robert Broom on the opening night at Eldridge Park predicting he was going to be an all-star. Well, he got that one right as well. But you are correct, Carter. To get a win here at Red Wilson Field against these Red Sox would be big. This is year in and year out one of the premier franchises on the Cape, three-time defending champs, and potentially, depending on how the seedings play out over the last few games of the season, a first-round matchup. So to get a win today against a team that they could potentially face in the playoffs, that would be huge to give this team confidence that, hey, we can beat these guys moving forward. But
one big member of this Brewster Whitecaps club will not be heading to the playoffs. For more on that, we send it over to Maura Sheridan.
Well, guys, I was talking to Coach Jamie Shevchik, and he told me that Steele Walker has been shut down for the season. He's no longer on this Brewster Whitecaps team, but Coach Shevchik was, upset that Steele Walker was leaving. He was a great leader on this team, but he says that they played so long without Steele, and they have a great center fielder in Hunter Bishop, so he's not too worried about that. He is worried about today, though. As Aiden said, he wants this win so bad, and he told me that because he made this prediction, he felt like he put a lot of pressure on himself, so he put out one of the best lineups he says he could have today. He's treating this as a must-win game because he wants to go in to the playoffs knowing they can beat this Whitey team. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Maura. And speaking of that lineup, let's give you a taste of what Jamie Shevchik will be sending out. Let's have the players introduce themselves for y'all. This is what Brewster will be sending out today.
Batting eighth, the third baseman from North Carolina, number 3.
Nick Dunn, infield, University of Maryland.
Chandler Taylor, University of Alabama, outfielder.
Mickey Gasper, catcher, Bryant University.
Hey, I'm Marty Casas, outfielder, University of Maryland.
Julian Infante, infield, Vanderbilt.
Michael Curry, designated hitter, the University of Georgia.
Hunter Bishop, outfielder, Arizona State.
Kyle Datris, infield, University of North Carolina.
AJ Graffinino, shortstop for the University of Washington.
Will Tribuker, left-handed pitcher, University of Michigan.
And that is just about the best 9 that you can be sending out, especially for the position players. Running that through again, it's Dunn, Taylor, Gasper, Costas, Infante, Curry, Bishop, Datris, Graffinino. You take one look at this lineup card, Aiden, and you can tell Jamie Shevchik wants this ball game.
Yeah, from top to bottom, this is a Whitecaps lineup that can hit, and yesterday that was a big issue, leaving 10 men on base, only scoring 2 runs, both of those runs coming in the 9th inning against this Whitey Red Sox team. So offensively, this is what Coach Shevchik said he's going with. He's going with a lineup that is primarily offensive based. Nick Dunn, who's 4th in the Cape League in batting average, leading things off, and then AJ Graffinino, a guy who Shevchik thought should have been an all-star this season, rounding out the order with Mickey Gasper, Marty Casas, Julian Infante. They're all in the middle there. So from top to bottom, this is a Brewster lineup that can score runs at a small ballpark here in Yarmouth.
Yes, very small ball here in Yarmouth. Very shallow to center field. A little bit over 350 feet to dead center here at Red Wilson Field. It's one where there are a lot of baseballs that have the potential to leave the ballpark. But Brewster's going to be trotting out Will Tribuker as their starter today. Well, the lineup is the 8 squad for the Whitecaps, but the pitching has been a little bit different in terms of how they've handled it since that playoff spot has been clinched. What do you see from Will Tribuker today?
Well, he's a guy who has good stuff. He actually picks up a lot of strikeouts when he's out on the mound from the left side, but control has been his issue so far this year. He's walked 15 batters in 20 1/3 innings. He's got 23 strikeouts, so we know he has the stuff to put hitters away. He's pitched here at Red Wilson Field before and faced these Whitey Red Sox twice. Had probably his best outing of the season here at Red Wilson Field back on July 10th, went 2 2/3 innings, gave up just 2 hits and struck out 5. So if there's a place where he probably feels the most comfortable, it's right here in Yarmouth.
All right, it's time for the national anthem here in Yarmouth. This will be Will Tribuker's third start of the season. We'll get you caught up on the YD lineup and their starter, John Rooney, after this on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. Back at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, where the Red Sox have taken the field and they're getting set to take on the Brewster Whitecaps. We want to get you set on the lineup that the home team will be trotting out for this ball game. It starts off with Nico. He'll be leading off and playing second base. Kyle Isbell hits second and will play center field for YD. Alfonso Rivas will be hitting third. He'll be out in left field. Carlos Cortez, the cleanup hitter, will be in right. Christian Koss will bat fifth. You know what I just did? I just read yesterday's lineup because that was on the wrong page in my scorebook. You know, we've all been there. It's Horner and Isbell that lead things off in those positions. Ferris is on the DH spot hitting third. Slaughter out in left. Jake Slaughter for YD. He will be the cleanup hitter. Christian Koss is out in right. Very versatile YD. He was in right field yesterday as he's out there again today. Connor Heiser is the shortstop. He will hit in the Luke Mills was in as a defensive replacement in yesterday's game, will be there to start things off at first base, batting in the 7th spot for the Red Sox. Nick Quintana, the third baseman, hits 8th, and Mike Casala will be behind the plate for the Red Sox today. He will be batting 9th. And on the mound for YD today in this game is John Rooney, the lefty out of Hofstra. And Aiden, this is a guy that the Whitecaps have seen before.
Yes, they have. Way back on July 1st at Stony Brook Field in a 7-4 Red Sox win. He went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, so he's susceptible to being hit hard. Only had 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. That was a game where Brewster actually saw him pretty well, success against him, but the Brewster pitching staff kind of let him off the hook there by giving up 7 runs to the Red Sox. So this is a guy who, they've seen before, they're comfortable with on the mound. He's a lefty, so obviously that may neutralize some of the better bats in this Whitecaps lineup, but I don't think that's going to stop them today.
Jamie Shevchik says he doesn't care who he's going to play in the first round of the playoffs, but it very well could be these YD Red Sox, could also be the Orleans Firebirds, depending on how things shake out. Nick Dunn will lead things off for the Whitecaps, digging in from the left side. And Rooney is ready. Here comes the first pitch. It misses low to start things off. We are underway. Count is 1 ball and no strikes on Nick Dunn, who is currently nursing that 15-game hitting streak. Extended it in yesterday's ball game. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Again, it misses low, so says Jeff January behind the plate. He's joined by Nick DeMarchi over at first base and Mickey Garcia, the reigning Cape League Umpire of the Year, over at third. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Dunn. And again, it just misses low. Three very similar offerings to Nick Dunn to start things off from Rooney. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike one. Dunn was shuffling over toward first base, thought that was outside, but Jeff January called strike one, so it's 3-1. Just underway here at Red Wilson Field, scoreless, top of the first inning. Here comes the pitch to Nick Dunn. It misses up high for ball 4, so a quick 5-pitch walk for Nick Dunn to start off this ball game. He is aboard, and now it's Chandler Taylor's turn.
Well, Nick Dunn, obviously, like you mentioned, Carter had the 15-game hitting streak, but he's just seeing the ball so much better up at the plate. Not even if he's not, putting the ball in play, working walks, and even when he's getting out, he's hitting the ball hard. Just looks like a completely different player from the first week or two of the season.
Nick Dunn during the hitting streak has drawn 7 walks as opposed to just 5 strikeouts, and he's picked off over at first base. They have him in between first and second as they went to check on him. He's scrambling between. He's in a rundown now. He's still going over. They tossed it back 4 times in between first and second base, and now scrambling over to try and tag him out at second, and now they finally do get him. Quite a lengthy rundown over there. Nico Horner, the second baseman, was the one who finally was able to tag Nick Dunn out. Not going to try and give you the official scoring there. The ball changed hands maybe 5 or 6 times before they finally slapped the tag on him. That is the second time this year Nick Dunn has been caught stealing.
And that's been an issue for this Whitecaps team this year, is making mistakes on the base pass, running into outs. And with a guy like Chandler Taylor up, you want runners on.
Here's Taylor. It misses up high to make the count 1-0, and you're right. That's one of the things that I think is catching on in baseball circles, kind of a notion that losing an out on the base pass is a lot tougher on your team than a lot of folks think. The pitch to the lefty Taylor misses up high, so it's 2 balls and no strikes now on the man from Alabama. Taylor's still the Cape League leader in home runs. He's got 9 of them to go with 24 ribbies, hitting .245 on the year. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It misses low, so the count is 3 balls and no strike. John Rooney struggling to find the zone early on, has thrown 7 balls to just 1 strike to the first 2 hitters of his game. 3-0 pitch, fouled away behind the plate. Gave Chandler Taylor the green light there on 3-0. And he's now still ahead in the count. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Rooney's a rising junior from Melrose, New York, out of Hofstra. He has a .478 ERA on the season for the Red Sox. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's a ground ball foul, first base side, over toward the Whitecap dugout on that first base side. And the count is full now, 3-2 on Taylor. We're in the top of the first inning, 1 man out, nobody on, and we are scoreless between the Whitecaps and the Red Sox. Rooney stares in. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Just a bit low for ball 4, and so Chandler Taylor will work a walk. So 2 walks and as many hitters now for Brewster, but 1 man out after Dunn got caught stealing, and now it's Mickey Gasper's turn.
Well, that's been something this Whitecaps team has done as well as anyone in this Cape League this summer, is walk. They see a lot of pitches when they come to the plate. They work pitchers' pitch counts. They tend to get to the bullpen relatively early. They get runners on base. It's just a matter of driving them in once they get there.
Gasper hitting from the right side against the lefty John Rooney. Here comes the pitch. And it misses inside on an opening fastball to make the count 1 ball and no strikes on Gasper. Gasper, the one guy on this team that's got more RBI than Chandler Taylor. He's got 28 of them, which is tied with Alec Boehm for the second best mark in the league. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike to make the count 1-1. Gasper is hitting .298 on the year with a .432 on base percentage. Has 5 home runs. A terrific year for him at the plate, though he has been slumping a bit recently for the Whitecaps. Here comes the 1-1. It misses down and in on an off-speed pitch, so the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Rooney's got a fastball, a curve, and then a little slurvy breaking ball, as well as a changeup. It's his arsenal on the mound. His fastball will be between 89 and 92 as he checks the runner on first base, Chandler Taylor, who gets back in time without a slide. Taylor is not to be ignored out there. 6 out of 9 stealing bases so far this season for the Whitecaps. Has also run out a couple of bunt singles to show off his speed. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's hit high in the air, foul ground right side, but it's going to tail out of play over toward the snack shack out there. And that evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mickey Gasper. This is a Whitey Red Sox team that has plenty to play for. They're even in the loss column right now for Orleans for the #1 seed in the East, though they are down 2 in the win column. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's up high and gets away from the catcher, Casala. Heading over to second base on a wild pitch is Chandler Taylor. That's a big one there. Takes away the possibility of a double play and moves a speedy runner into scoring position with 1 man out. Count now full on Mickey Gasper. And Casala, the catcher, will head out to chat with John Rooney. The defense in full for YD. It's Slaughter, Isbell, and Koss left to right in the outfield. Third to first in the infield, it's Quintana, Kaiser at short, Horner at second, Miller at first base. And as I mentioned, Casala is behind the plate doing the catching for John Rooney to start off this ball game. We're in the top of the first inning, no score yet. 1 man out, and Chandler Taylor aboard second base. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Mickey Gasper. It's fouled away behind the plate. Just got a piece of that one, did Mickey. Looked like he was a little bit out in front of that, but was able to get the bat on the ball and stay alive. So we'll do it again with the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gasper digging in, Whitecaps in their road teal uniforms today with the Brewster written across the front in white. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen once more. Keeps the count at 3-2. YD are wearing their traditional home uniforms, which really look like almost a carbon copy of the ones that you'll see on the Boston Red Sox, except the hats are a little different. They've got their own YD logo with the outline of the cape. 3-2 is the count still on Mickey Gasper with Marty Costas on deck for Brewster. Here comes the pitch. Runner's going for third base. The pitch misses, and that's going to be ball 4. The ball gets away temporarily from the third baseman Quintana, but doesn't roll too far away, and Chandler Taylor will stay put. So he advances to third, and Gasper works the walk. So that is going to be a stolen base for Taylor, his 7th of the year.
And that's also the 3rd consecutive walk to start off the ball game for the Whitecaps, giving them 191 on the year. How about this, Carter? 2nd place in the Cape League is Orleans with 147. So the difference between 2nd place and last place is 45, because last place Hyannis has 102, and then the difference between 2nd place and 1st place is it's 44.
Here's the righty Costas. He takes a pitch up to make the count 1-0 to start things off for him. I tell you what, that's the one category, if you look at the team leaders on the Cape, that has never been in doubt all year. This is a team in Brewster that draws a ton of walks, and it looks like we're going to have an early visit to the mound here to talk things over on the mound with Rooney. As you said, Aiden, he's just having trouble locating. It looks like that's Scott Pickler who's going out to have a chat with him. Pickler, the 6-time champion here on the Cape League. His day job's over at Cypress College in California. He's coached over 70 players that have made it to the big leagues here on the Cape. Very quick conversation, just a few words for Rooney, and he heads back to the dugout. Doesn't look like there's anybody warming in the YD pen. Maybe some stirring among the relievers, but this is just to probably get John Rooney's confidence back up. 1st and 3rd, 1 man out. We're in the top of the 1st inning. No score yet, but the Whitecaps are knocking on the door after 3 walks in this inning. Nick Dunn led things off with a walk and was caught stealing. That's why he's not on the base pass. 1-0 pitch to the righty. Costas is cut on and missed. Blew that one by him, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Costas on the season is hitting .272 with a .419 on base percentage, 5 home runs, and 19 runs batted in for the man from Maryland. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's hit hard on the ground, left side. Moving over is the shortstop, Kaiser. It's past him into left field for a base hit. Chandler Taylor will come in to score from third base. It's an RBI single for Costas. He's now got 20 ribbies on the year, and the Whitecaps lead 1-0.
Well, Coach Shevchik has talked so often this season about setting the tone in the first couple of innings, really trying to put the pressure, especially on the road. If you can score a first inning run on the road and already be ahead, put the pressure on the opposing team before they have a chance to bat, that can really work wonders for the team's success on the rest of the game.
So here comes Julian Infante digging in from the right side for the Whitecaps. Rooney holds the set, and the lefty deals. Swing and a miss. Might have foul tipped that one right into the glove of the catcher, Casala. Again, getting in front of him with the fastball, just like he did with Marty Costas before Costas smacked the next pitch into left field for the ribby single. 0-1 the count on Julian Infante. Rooney stares in, gets the sign from the set catcher, Casala, and now comes set. 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike on the inside corner. Infante kind of waggled his head a little bit. Wasn't a fan of the call from Jeff January. Infante's hitting .254 on the year, a .311 on base percentage, 1 home run, and 12 RBI for the season for Julian Infante. 0-2 the count, first and second, 1 man out for Brewster. The Whitecaps are ahead 1-0 early on in the top of the first inning here at Red Wilson Field. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It misses outside on a fastball, so the count is 2 strikes. You could not have drawn up a more gorgeous for baseball. There are no clouds in the sky. The temperature is perfect, nice and warm. There is a bit of a breeze coming in from the outfield, though in this small ballpark it maybe just even things out. 1-2, nobody's going to go over to first base and check on the runner, and diving back just in time is Marty Costas. Even with the runner ahead of him, Costas taking an aggressive lead, as he has all season when he's gotten on base. Never a guy to play it too safe on the base paths, but so far has had a good year base running wise for Brewster. Has certainly gotten on enough for the Caps. We're waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Holding the set is Rooney. Here it comes. It's hit hard into center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Heading around third base is Mickey Gasper. He's held up at third, so that will load the bases on the single from Julian Infante, and now it'll be Michael Curry's turn.
Well, we said before the game, Rooney was susceptible to being hit, gave up 8 hits in his first outing against these Whitecaps, and they've got back-to-back singles here. Bases loaded with just 1 out, and one of the most powerful hitters on this team coming to bat. You gotta love that if you're Coach Shevchik.
Yeah, plenty of pop in Michael Curry's bat. The Whitecaps, when these two teams met in yesterday's ball game, left the bases loaded twice in consecutive frames in the 6th and 7th innings. One of those frames they had just 1 out like they do now. YD went on to win that game 4-2 yesterday at Stony Brook Field. The pitch to the right-hander Curry misses down and in. Pretty good block from the catcher Casala to keep that one from going to the backstop. Gasper is on third, Costas on second, and Infante aboard first base. Costas definitely the fastest of those 3 runners for Brewster. And Curry at the plate with the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Curry's hitting .268 on the year, a .440 on base percentage, just 1 home run, and 12 runs driven in. 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike on the inner half to make the count 1-1. We're in the top of inning number 1, and it's 1-0 Brewster, with the bases loaded and 1 man out for the Whitecaps. Rooney stares in, and Casala gives him the sign. He's ready to go. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fooled Curry there, and ahead in the count 1-2 is John Rooney. Trying to work out of this jam. On deck for the Whitecaps is Hunter Bishop, the man whom we now know will be Brewster's everyday center fielder after word came through today that Steele Walker's been shut down for the year. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen. Just got a piece of that one, did Michael Curry, to stay alive. So it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Georgia Bulldog. Curry did spend some time at catcher for the Whitecaps this year, played a few games, including 1 here in Yarmouth, but has been a part-time DH for much of the season for Brewster. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's hit high in the air into foul ground on the right side. Moving over is the first baseman, Miller, and he will make the catch in foul territory for out number 2. Gasper gave him a look over at third, but stayed put over there. So Curry fails to advance the runners on a pop fly, and now it'll be Hunter Bishop's turn with the bases loaded and 2 men out.
Good job there by Rooney, keeping Curry off balance. Had him out or behind on the fastball for strike 2, and that almost looked like Curry was sitting on that fastball thinking he'd go back to it, but then Rooney switches things up with the breaking ball.
So here is Bishop. Bishop, a left-handed hitter against the lefty John Rooney. Here comes the pitch. It misses down and away to the lefty to make the count 1-0. Bishop trying to give the Whitecaps a second run. When you're in a jam like John Rooney is, you're thinking just allow 1. Don't let a crooked number get up there on the scoreboard. Right now he's an out away from accomplishing that. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. That one was down low. Bishop kind of golfed at it, makes the count 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 1-0 Brewster here in the top of inning number 1. Bases loaded and 2 men out. Here comes the 1-1 offering. It skips in front of the catcher Casala. He blocks it, 2-1 the count. Brewster coming into this game at 18-20-2, dipping a couple of games below 500, but with that playoff spot clinched, Jamie Shevchik has said that record is not quite as important to him as just getting guys ready for the playoffs. 2-1 pitch, fastball in there for a strike at the knees. Evens up the count at 2-2 with 2 men out. So Rooney a strike away from preventing a second run from scoring. Bases loaded for the Whitecaps. Rooney stares in, gets the sign. And here comes the 2-2 offering. In there called, strike 3, and that ends the top of the first inning. So Brewster does get 1 run on the Costas Ribby single, but I'm sure Jamie Shevchik is wishing they had probably put up a couple more. For Brewster, they get 1 run in the frame on 2 hits. They leave the bases loaded. At the end of the half, it's Brewster 1 and the Whitey Red Sox coming to bat. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. Back here at Red Wilson Field, we're starting the bottom of the first inning, and Brewster has a 1-0 lead over YD. Will Tribuker is out, and he deals his first pitch to Nico Horner, and the man from Stanford takes it for a strike. Horner, a right-handed hitter. Starting things off for the Red Sox, Brewster got that run in the top of the first on a ribby single from Marty Costas. Here comes the 0-1 to Horner, and it's in there for a called strike 2 to make the count 0-2. Horner, the last time we were here at Red Wilson Field, was leadoff hitter and hit a home run to center field. 0-2 is the count. On the year, he's hitting .297 is Horner. The pitch misses outside, so it's 1-2 now. Horner's got a .354 OBP this year, 6 home runs, and 25 runs driven in. Very productive leadoff man for YD. 1-2 pitch to the righty is a ground ball. That one might have gotten a piece of his shin, and it did. So it's waved dead. That one got all the way behind the pitcher's mound to the point where the shortstop Graffinino had scooped it up, but the play was waved dead by the home plate umpire Jeff January. So the count is still 1-2 strikes. Tribuker is making his 3rd start of the season, but has been primarily a reliever for the Brewster Whitecaps in the days and weeks leading up to this outing. He's got a .487 ERA on the year, thrown 20 1/3 innings pitched, 19 hits allowed in those 20 1/3, 15 walks, and 23 Ks. The 1-2 pitch misses outside to make the count 2-2 strikes. Jamie Shevchik has said that he'll just be trying to keep guys loose for the playoffs in terms of how he uses his bullpen. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Mickey Gasper for strike number 3. So a good start for Will Tribuker on the mound. He gets a strikeout of Nico Horner for the first out of the bottom of the first.
Yeah, we knew Will Tribuker had put away stuff with all the strikeouts he's been racking up this year, but to do it against Nico Horner, that's impressive. Horner, 297 on the year, leading the team with 6 home runs, 25 RBI. He's a guy who's probably the key component of this Whitey Red Sox lineup, batting in the leadoff spot. If you can retire him, it becomes a whole lot easier to get through the rest of the lineup.
Here's Kyle Isbell, and the pitch is in there for a called strike one to Isbell, hitting from the left side. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, lefty to lefty. In there for strike two. Tribuker working quickly and throwing strikes. That's kind of his MO, another workhorse sort of guy for the Whitecaps. Waiting on an 0-2 pitch, and here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike three, a 3-pitch K for Kyle Isbell, and Will Tribuker's looking locked in early, back-to-back strikeouts to start off the bottom of the first.
Well, we knew we'd be comfortable here at Red Wilson Field after how well he pitched last time he was here, but that is as good a start as you can ask for. Back-to-back strikeouts against a very good Red Sox lineup to start things off.
So here's the UAB Blazer Carter Ferris digging in from the right side. It's 1-0 Whitecaps, bottom one. The pitch is a hard ground ball to third base. Scooped up over there by Datris. He throws across the diamond. It's in time for out number 3. Will Tribuker, in and out in a hurry in the bottom of the first inning, sends the Red Sox lineup down in order. We're through one inning of play. The Red Sox trailing 1-0. Whitecaps Radio Network. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. We're starting the second inning here in Yarmouth. It's 1-0 Brewster on top. It'll be Datris, Graffinino, and Nick Dunn. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Brewster here in the second frame. And the righty Datris shows bunt and takes a fastball up high for ball number 1 from John Rooney to start off his at-bat. Datris on the years hitting .227, a .367 OBP, no homers, 7 runs driven in. 1-0 pitch, misses outside. So it's 2 balls and no strikes on Kyle Datris. Control was the issue in the top of the first inning for Rooney. Surrendered 3 walks in his first 3 hitters, one of which came around to score. The pitch misses down and in to make the count 2-0. It was Taylor who scored on an RBI single by Marty Costas for the only run that we've seen so far in this ball game. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Right down Broadway for strike number 1 on a fastball. So 3 balls and 1 strike the count on Kyle Datris. Rooney working pretty quickly here out of the windup. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's hit high in the air, foul ground right side. The first baseman Miller moves over to his left, still moving, and he makes the catch. Headed toward the out-of-play line on the right side, but he does grab it. That's the first out of the second inning.
From Washington, number 6, A.J.
So 3 straight retired now by John Rooney as he's settling in perhaps on the mound, and now A.J. Graffinino, the lefty hitter, will dig in for the Brewster Whitecaps. Rooney is ready. Here comes the first pitch to Graffinino. It's in there for a called strike 1. Just grooved that one in there. Graffinino's hitting .252 on the year, a .304 on base percentage. No homers yet, 13 RBI. Here comes the 0-1. It's hit hard on the ground to second base. Fielded over there by Nico Horner. He throws to first for out number 2. So that's 4 straight retired for Rooney, perhaps settling in a little bit. And now it'll be Nick Dunn's turn for the Whitecaps.
Number 39, Nick Dunn.
Dunn, of course, nursing that hitting streak. We talked a little bit about the numbers that he has had this year on the hitting streak for the Whitecaps. Started back on July 19th against the Wareham Gatemen, hitting .444 over the course of that streak, and has really improved his season numbers. The first pitch to him misses outside to the lefty. His average has gone up 82 points. His on-base percentage has gone up 73 since that hitting streak, and part of that is he's had 9 multi-hit games over the course of that streak. The 1-0 pitch is a high chopper to second. Nico Horner will field it on a tricky hop and throw to first for out number 3. So the streak will have to wait until Nick Dunn comes up to bat once again. It's a very quick 1-2-3 top of the second inning for John Rooney. We're through an inning and a half here in Yarmouth, and the Whitecaps are still on top 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. Back in Yarmouth, Whitecaps and Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field. Jake Slaughter will lead things on to the bottom of the second inning, and the Whitecaps lead 1-0. Will Tribuker got a very easy 1-2-3 first, and so the cleanup hitter Slaughter leads things off. The first pitch is hit hard down the right field line, foul. That one just skipped foul by a couple of feet when it was crossing the first base bag. It hit hard the other way by the righty Slaughter, so the count is 0-1 on Jake. Slaughter's hitting .241 on the year, 371 on base percentage, no homers, 1 ribby. A 1 pitch misses outside, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tribuker got a pair of Ks to start things off and then a ground ball to third in that first inning. It's 1-0 Brewster. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees. Well located there from Will Tribuker. Very good at changing speeds is the Michigan man. Has already shown it so far in this ball game. Here comes the 1-2. It's a ground ball right back to Tribuker. He fields it easily and throws to first base for the first out of the bottom of the second. So 4 straight retired for Tribuker to start off this ball game.
From UC Irvine, number 27.
And now it's Christian Koss, the UC Irvine anteater, who will dig in for the YD Red Sox, hitting from the right side for Scott Pickler's club. Koss so far this year is hitting .333, getting on base about 41% of the time, has a pair of homers and 14 RBI. The pitch to the righty just misses to make the count 1-0. That one looked like it was just off the plate inside in the judgment of Jeff January. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. In there for a called strike. That one looked like on the upper half toward the letters there, that offering from Tribuker. Count is 1-1. Tribuker working quickly. The pitch is a high chopper toward the right side. It'll roll foul wide of first. Infante was ready for it, but it did just kick foul at the last moment. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now on Christian Koss, the rising sophomore out of Riverside, North in Riverside, California. Waiting on a 1-2 pitch. Here it comes from Tribuker. It misses up and away. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Brewster on top 1-0 on a RBI single from Marty Costas in the top of the first. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Misses inside on a fastball, so that makes the count full on Christian Koss. These two teams faced off yesterday. YD got the win 4-2. Brewster left 10 men on base in that game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's fouled off behind the plate, so Koss will stay alive. Brewster already has left 3 runners on in the first 2 frames tonight. They left the bases loaded in that first inning, went down in order in the second. Waiting on a 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. It misses up and away for ball 4, so the first YD base runner comes via the walk, the thing that Will Tribuker has struggled with this year. And now Connor Kaiser will dig in with Koss aboard first base.
And that's been his miss all year long with that 3/4 arm slot, high and outside to a right-handed batter. It just seems like he's not quite finishing that delivery, not quite following through. I remember Tim Lincecum back when he was, the Cy Young winner for the San Francisco Giants, used to talk about picking up the dollar when finishing his delivery, picking it off the ground, and it seems like Tribuker's maybe leaving the hand up high a little bit.
The pitch to Kaiser is a high chopper. The third baseman Datris runs to field it. He throws across in time for the out. Nice job by Datris to charge that baseball. We've seen him make that play quite a few times this year. It's one he's good at. In on the infield grass, had to scoop it up against his body and then uncork the throw. Did so in time. It does move Koss over to second base on the play, with Luke Miller due up now with 2 men out. Miller, a right-handed hitter for YD. The Whitecaps are ahead 1-0. We're in the bottom of inning number 2. Runner in scoring position for YD with Koss on second base. Koss does have some speed to him. And here comes the pitch to Luke Miller. Swing and a miss. Looked like he was out in front of that one and wound up in the dirt. Did that offering from Tribuker. The count is 0-1. Miller, as I mentioned before, made it into yesterday's game as a defensive replacement, but is starting today at first base. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch from Tribuker. Breaking ball in there for a called strike 2. Miller's hitting .291 on the year, a .337 on base percentage, 2 home runs and 8 runs driven in for the man from Indiana. 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece, fouled it back. Just barely did doink that one on the lower part of his bat, did Luke Miller. Miller, originally from Muncie, Indiana, had 10 home runs for the Hoosiers this past spring while hitting .272 in the Big Ten. 0-2 pitch coming. Hit hard on the ground, right side, diving play by Nick Dunn. He comes up with it, throws to first base in time for the out. A terrific play from the Brewster second baseman, diving to his left to come up with the baseball, and that retires the side in the bottom of the second. For YD, no runs, no hits. They leave 1 on. At the end of 2 innings of play, it's 1-0 Brewster. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle. Chandler Taylor, Mickey Gasper, and Marty Casas will lead things off, due up for the Whitecaps here in the top of the third. Brewster already on top in this ball game by a score of 1-0. Here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, the first pitch to the lefty Taylor is hit hard out to center field. Moving back is the center fielder Isbell to his left, and he makes the catch out in right center to retire Chandler Taylor. Anytime a guy like Chandler Taylor gives the baseball a ride in this small ballpark, you hold your breath, but that one didn't get up high enough. And so Taylor was retired for out number 1.
Yeah, with the wind blowing in today, it's going to be a little bit harder for hitters to hit one out here at Red Wilson Field, but didn't quite get all of that one. Actually, before the game in batting practice, he was joking with guys like A.J. Graffinino and Kyle Datris, guys who don't necessarily have as much power as he does. He hit one out over the fence into a neighbor's yard.
Here's the first pitch to Gasper, and the switch hitter batting right takes a breaking ball for strike 1.
And then as he's walking out of the cage, he looks to him, smiles, and goes, got it off the end of the bat.
0-1 coming. It's a ground ball to third. Nice scooped up on the backhand from Quintana. He throws across the diamond for out number 2. Maybe a tricky hop there for Quintana over at third, but he handled it well. So it's a quick 2 out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, and Rooney seems to really be settling in. Retired the last 2 batters of the first inning, so now he's got 7 straight in a row retired against these Whitecaps.
Here comes Marty Costas. He has driven in the only run of this ball game, had the RBI single in the first inning to bring Chandler Taylor around. He hits this one hard into center field. Isbell is charging over to his left, and he will make the catch on the run once again, very similar to where Chandler Taylor put that baseball. So it's now 8 straight retired by Rooney since he's settled in that first frame. The Whitecaps go down 1-2-3 in the top of the third. At the end of 2.5 innings of play in Yarmouth, Brewster still leads 1-0. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle. Back here in Yarmouth, we're starting the bottom of the third, and the Whitecaps lead 1-0. Nick Quintana, Mike Casala, and Nico Horner do up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for YD. Only 1 base runner allowed by Will Tribuker in this game. That was a walk to Cos. That's been it in terms of the YD offense getting on. And Quintana will dig in from the right side. Here's the first pitch from a lefty, Tribuker. It's a fastball that misses up. So it's 1-0 on Quintana. He was hitting .209 on the year with a .284 on base percentage, 5 home runs, and 13 runs batted in. Here comes the 1-0. It's in there for a called strike. Fastball at belt high to Quintana, so he's quickly with a 1-1 count. Quintana takes a moment to take a deep breath and now digs back in. Here comes the 1-1 offering. Breaking ball misses down and away. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Quintana's a rising sophomore originally from Las Vegas. Goes to the University of Arizona. Tribuker staring in. Here comes the 2-1. It's at hard, a high chopper left side, moving over to field is the shortstop Graffinino. He throws across the body in time for out number 1. Nice play from Graffinino and a good play by Datris, the third baseman, as well, because he could have fielded that baseball, but yielded to the Brewster shortstop, who thought he had a better play on it and used those quick hands to get the out. So there's 1 gone in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, nice play by Graffinino there. You mentioned it, Carter. Almost a play that Datris could have gotten, but he, like you said, he yielded to Graffinino, who backhanded deep in the hole, and then those quick hands that we always talk about. And a strong throw on the first base to retire Quintana.
Whitecaps ahead 1-0 bottom 3. Here's Casala. The first pitch is in there for a called strike at the knees. So the count's 0-1 on the Red Sox catcher today, who's hitting .212 on the year, is Casala. The 0-1 pitch from Tribuker just misses the outside corner, so it's 1-1. Casala goes to Jacksonville University, a Jacksonville Dolphin. One of the better mascots that you're going to find anywhere, in my humble opinion. 1-1 pitch. Misses up high.
And here at Red Wilson Field, right next to Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School, home of the Dolphins.
So I'm sure he feels right at home. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Tribuker's really working quickly out there, and it's the first pitch is hit high in the air but foul toward the right side, and the fan can't quite make the play with the glove. We've got a bunch of kids over there. That was right in front of the snack shack, so there are kids out in line to get their ice creams, their souvenirs, and somebody had an open play on that, missed it, and somebody else grabbed it on a hop. That's life in the stands. The good news is there are plenty of those to go around here on the Cape. Waiting on a 2-2 pitch to the right-hander. Here it comes. Just misses below the knees again, so the count is full. Casala is originally from St. Augustine, Florida. He's a rising junior. Will be next year for the Dolphins. 3-2 pitch is a ground ball foul left side. That one another high chopper off the bat of Casala, but did go foul, so we'll do it again with the count 3-2. Casala is a two-way player for these Red Sox. Listed as a pitcher on the roster, but has played plenty of time as a hitter. This is his 17th game as a batter. The 3-2 pitch is grounded foul right side, and nicely grabbed by Tyler Gillum, the YD first base coach, with the bare hand, but it's a foul ball. Count remains full. Casala's been great on the mound in 5 appearances for YD this year. He's got an ERA of .225. The man from Florida. Casala will dig in, but the count full. Tribuker takes a deep breath, and here comes the payoff pitch. It's a high fly ball foul behind the plate. We'll do it again. 3-2 the count. That one took a hit off of a building out there. You could hear it from a mile away. Tell you what, this has been a great at-bat for the kids on the lawn, as Casala's been doing an excellent job of battling, fouling off difficult pitches from Tribuker. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away behind the plate, and we will do it again. That one just grounded softly foul with the count 3-2. The Whitecaps are ahead in this ball game 1-0. The wind is blowing in a bit more fiercely than it has earlier in this ball game, just straight in from left field. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to the right side. Nick Dunn will field it on a tricky hop and throw to first base in time for the second out of the bottom of the third inning. So Tribuker wins the battle. He's now retired 4 in a row, and now it'll be Nico Horner's turn as we go back to the top of the YD lineup.
Well, he hasn't gotten the strikeouts that he did for the first 2 batters. Those are the only 2 Ks of the game so far for Tribuker, but he's pitching well. He's pitching to contact, throwing strikes, and he's having faith in his defense behind him, and so far, it's working very well so far.
So here's the righty Nico Horner. The pitch is a breaking ball, and it misses inside, so the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Horner struck out swinging his first time out. Tribuker struck out the first 2 batters that he faced, and since then, here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a ground ball right in front of the plate, a high chopper. Gasper will field it with his glove. He throws the first for out number 3. Well, Tribuker has not allowed a hit, and the last 7 outs that he's recorded now have all been on the ground since those 2 Ks that he got to start the ball game. That one right to Gasper. It's a 1-2-3 third for YD at the end of 3 innings of play. It's 1-0 Brewster. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle.
Back in Yarmouth for the top of the 4th inning here at Red Wilson Field between the YD Red Sox and the Brewster Whitecaps. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Waddell here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Brewster currently leads this one 1-0, and it'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Brewster order due up against John Rooney. who's out into his 4th inning of work. Had some trouble early, walked the first 3 batters of the game before a Marty Costas single brought home Chandler Taylor to give the Whitecaps what is at this point the only run of the ball game, but has settled in nicely, retired 8 in a row, dating back to the 2nd out of that 1st inning. As Julian Infante steps in now for the Brewster Whitecaps, right-handed hitting first baseman out of Vanderbilt. And the first pitch from Rooney, breaking ball cut on and missed downstairs for strike 1. Infante in his first at-bat hit a hard hit single to right center field. As the right-hander digs back into the batter's box. 0-1 pitch from Rooney. This is down below the knees. Count now evens at 1-1. Rooney looking into his catcher, Casala. Now through the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball lifted in the air, foul down the right field line. That one drops over the snack shack, and the count moves to 1-2. Michael Curry waiting on deck for the Whitecaps. His designated hitter for Coach Shevchik. And now Rooney through the windup and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, about brim of the helmet level there, as Casala jumped up and grabbed it. Count evens at 2-2. Rooney through the windup and the 2-2 on its way. Caught on and missed. Chased the off-speed pitch downstairs for strike 3. So Infante down swinging, and that's now 9 in a row retired by Rooney.
Yeah, he's done a much better job of changing speeds and throwing strikes for the Red Sox so far. Early on in this game, Brewster hitters, I mean, the first 5 guys that he faced either were content to just take pitches or whack ones that were over the plate. He's been able to kind of just stick to his game plan a lot more in these last few hitters.
And now Michael Curry digs in from the right side against Rooney. First pitch, swinging. This one driven to deep center field. Going back is Kyle Isbell, and he makes the play just shy of the warning track. Michael Curry gave it a ride, hit it hard, but not quite high enough, and that's out number 2.
Boy, he sure did hit that ball hard. Again, in this ballpark, if you hit it hard to center field, you're holding your breath. But a nice job by Isbell to grab that one. It just was a line drive.
And now the Brewster center fielder, Hunter Bishop, digs in. Lefty-lefty matchup between Rooney and Bishop. Hunter's 0 for 1 on the day, struck out looking to end the top of the first inning, and now looks at a first pitch fastball from Rooney on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Bishop from Palo Alto, California. Takes a big cut at an off-speed pitch there from Rooney and gets nothing, so the count now 0-2. This year for Arizona State, played in 51 games, 42 of them starts, batted .301, hit 5 home runs. As he looks at a fastball high and outside, count now 1-2. He was honorable mention all Pac-12 as a freshman. And now, as Morris Sheridan said, now that Steele Walker has been shut down, probably going to be the team's primary center fielder as he fouls this one off over the third base dugout. So stays alive, count remains 1-2. Bishop, the younger brother of Braden Bishop, a former Brewster Whitecap, who's currently in the Seattle Mariners system, as Bishop hits one hard to first base, fielded on the hop by Miller, who will take it himself to the bag for out number 3. So another 1-2-3 inning for John Rooney. That is now 11 in a row retired by the left-hander out of Hofstra. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Red Wilson Field. Whitecaps still lead the Red Sox 1-0. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle.
It'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Red Wilson Field. Whitecaps lead this one 1-0. Will Tribuker back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. And the YD center fielder Kyle Isbell leads things off and swings through a first pitch fastball from Tribuker for strike 1. Isbell 0 for 1 on the day, struck out swinging his first at bat, the second of back-to-back Ks by Tribuker to start the game off. As Tribuker paints another fastball in at the knees, quickly head 0-2. Isbell out of UNLV, batting .248 on the season coming into this game, and swings through a breaking ball there from Tribuker. So Isbell goes down swinging, the second time today that Tribuker has struck out the center fielder, and that'll bring up Carter Ferris.
Yeah, it's changing speeds. It's been great so far for Will Tribuker. We saw him throw that fastball in the low 90s to fool him, and then he's got that changeup and that curveball, both of which are in like 79, 81, that sort of range. That mile-per-hour difference can really be tricky for guys. It showed there.
Now the first pitch to Ferris in at the knees for strike 1. The first time Isbell struck out was the second strikeout of the game for Tribuker, and then we went through the entire lineup, and the third strikeout of the game for Tribuker was that one again on Isbell. As the lefty drops in a breaking ball for strike 2 to Ferris. The Red Sox designated hitter 0 for 1 on today with a ground out to third as he swings through a breaking ball there. So back-to-back strikeouts for Tribuker. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
And what's really impressive when you look down this very neat score sheet for YD is that they haven't made an out in the outfield yet. It's been nothing but Ks and ground balls that Tribuker has been able to induce. He's had one good play from Nick Dunn, the second baseman, but other than that, it's been pretty routine, the stuff he's gotten on the ground. He has been locked in on the mound.
Jake Slaughter now digging in from the right side. Looks at a first pitch fastball from Tribuker right at the knees for strike 1. Slaughter's first time up, grounded one right back to Tribuker, so one of those ground balls that you were talking about, Carter. As the southpaw through the windup and the 0-1 pitch. Another fastball in at the knees, says home plate umpire Jeff January, and Tribuker quickly head 0-2. Looking to strike out the side here, heading the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Tribuker through the windup and the pitch. Breaking ball, the appeal to the first base umpire Nick DeManchi. Says he did not go, and so now the count 1-2. So 1-2 count. Tribuker through the windup and the pitch. This one he gets him swinging on the fastball downstairs. So Tribuker strikes out the side in the bottom of the 4th. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Red Sox. That's the 5th strikeout of the game for Will Tribuker, and we head to the top of the 5th. 1-0 still the score. Whitecaps on top of the Red Sox.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle.
The Whitecaps got a run in the top of the 1st inning, and it's been nothing but zeros for either team since then. We head to the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 still the score. It'll be 8-9 and 1 due up for Brewster against John Rooney. Kyle Datris, the third baseman out of the University of North Carolina, leading things off. right-handed batter against the southpaw Rooney. His first pitch fouled back to the backstop for strike one. Datcher's popped out to the first baseman Miller in his first at-bat. 0 for 1 on the day. As now the 0-1 pitch from Rooney misses high, evens the count at 1-1. As Rooney looks into his catcher Casala, now through the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Misses down and in for ball 2. Datcher, originally from Williamsport, Pennsylvania, decided to play his college ball for Coach Mike Fox down in Chapel Hill. As he looks at a fastball from Rooney right on the inside corner, and the count evens at 2-2. Was second on that Tar team in RBI this year with 51. As he takes a fastball just off the plate and the count runs full. Sort of like UNC's Iron Man this year, started every game for the Tar Heels. As the payoff pitch on its way, this one lifted in the air back behind home plate and out of play. And it's not like he wasn't taking a beating either, was hit by a pitch an incredible 20 times, which was 10 times more than the next guy up on the team. So body taking a beating, but still going out there every day as he hits one softly towards shortstop, fielded on a hop there by Kaiser, but no, he boots it and it rolls into left center or into left field. But Datcher will hold at first base. That'll go as an error on Kaiser, and the Whitecaps have the leadoff man aboard on the E6.
That was a strange little play there. It was kind of a slow looper that was heading Kaiser's way. He elected to play it on a hop, and unluckily for him, it was not a good hop that it took and just bobbled it off the heel of his glove. And for Brewster, they got to take advantage of the first base runner they've had since that first inning.
Now A.J. Graffinino, the shortstop for the Whitecaps, digging in. Lefty-lefty matchup as Rooney will check on Datcher at first base, who gets back safely. Graffinino was retired in his first at-bat, hit a hard ground ball to Nico Horner at second. But the Stanford Cardinal made the play for out number 1. 2 in the inning as Graffinino looks at a breaking ball from Rooney off the plate for ball 1. Graffinino going into his junior season for the Washington Huskies. Second-year Whitecap. As the 1-0 pitch. Off speed, and Graffinino way out in front of it, evens the count at 1-1. Graffinino used to be a switch hitter, but decided to make the switch, if you will, to only left-handed after 2016. As Rooney will check on Datcher again at first base, who dives back safely. He's an all Pac-12 honorable mention this year after making 53 starts for the Huskies at shortstop. Batted .269 as he swings through another pitch from Rooney downstairs, and the count now 1-2.
Both of these pitchers that we've seen as the starters, Tribuker and Rooney here for the Red Sox, have done a terrific job of fooling guys, changing speeds. So far, Graffinino hasn't time to pitch right in this at-bat.
Rooney comes set. And the 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball misses off the plate, and the count evens at 2-2. Graffinino certainly more of a contact hitter, has 0 home runs for the Huskies in his 2 years playing for Washington. Did have one last summer, though, for the Whitecaps. As Rooney paints the outside corner with a fastball, Graffinino down looking for out number 1. And now it'll be back to the top of the order for the Whitecaps.
Yeah, Graffinino was just never sure when that fastball was going to come, and when it did, it was well placed enough, so but he just took it for strike 3. Terrific at-bat on the mound for John Rooney, picking the pitches and executing them well.
And now Nick Dunn digging in from the left side for the Whitecaps. Entered the game, like we've talked about, Carter, on a 15-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 1 today. Did reach on a walk in his first plate appearance, but was kicked off first. Another lefty-lefty matchup as Rooney comes set, and the first pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away for ball 1. Dunn, second baseman out of the University of Maryland, another second-year Whitecap. We've talked about it pretty frequently this season. Last year's Offensive Player of the Year for Brewster, as Rooney checks on Datcher at first. but the Tar Heel dives back in time. Last year for the Whitecaps, batted .311. Did hit a home run, had 25 RBI, and was selected to the Eastern Division All-Star team as Dunn fouls off the offering from Rooney, and the count evens at 1-1. This year for Maryland had a little bit of a down year. Did start all 61 games, but batted just .261 and had 5 home runs. Stole 8 bases, but committed the most errors on the team with 14. As the pitch from Rooney inside, and it looks like it got a piece of Dunn, so he'll reach for the second time today. Neither time with a hit, though. And now with 1 out and Chandler Taylor stepping in, the Whitecaps have runners on first and second.
Well, whether it's a pair of hard-hit singles or an E6 and a hit batter, getting 2 men on for Chandler Taylor is doing your work if you are the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Brewster. And now it's Taylor and Gasper on deck, their job to try and increase this 1-0 lead.
Taylor digging in from the left side. He's 0 for 1 today, walked in his first plate appearance, and has scored the only run of the ball game thus far. As he looks at a first pitch breaking ball from Rooney that misses down and away for ball 1. In the third inning, Taylor hit a fly ball out to center field, hit it hard, but was run down by Kyle Isbell. Never quite got it high enough to get it out of the ballpark. And the wind here at Red Wilson Field today blowing in. As the 1-0 pitch from Rooney, breaking ball caught on and missed from Taylor, chased that one down in the dirt, and the count evens at 1-1. Taylor this year all SEC second team for the Crimson Tide. He's third in the SEC in home runs, slugging percentage. As they get Dunn picked off first base, they're looking towards third as Datras takes off, and the throw to third is not in time as Kyle Datras slides in. So they had Dunn picked off, and Dunn reaches second, Datras reaches third, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Whitecaps.
I guess that goes in the book as a stolen base. I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Nick Dunn did a good job evading them. We saw him extend the rundown for a very long time when he was picked off the first time, and now Chandler Taylor can bring a run in on an out. That's a very strange play.
As Taylor calls time, yeah, they threw over to first base. Dunn was caught in between first and second. Datras took off for third, and the first baseman Miller looked towards third, but was late getting the ball over there to Quintana, and Datras slid in safely. 1-1 pitch to Taylor, chases another breaking ball down and in for strike 2.
And that's a terrific heads-up play by Datras aboard second base to know when your guy is hung up and say, hey, listen, even if he gets tagged out in a rundown, let me try and take third. And instead, he gets a double steal out of it in the book. I mean, that's what I've got it down as.
And Point Streak agrees with you, so it does go as a double steal. Datras with a stolen base, Dunn with a stolen base. As the 1-2 pitch on its way to Taylor. This one misses outside as the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor, originally from Montgomery, Alabama, played his high school ball at Alabama Christian Academy, where he set the school record for most home runs before the start of his senior season. So even in high school, he had this power that he's been displaying here on the Cape this summer, as the pitch from Rooney misses downstairs and the count runs full. Rooney looking into his catcher, Casala. Now comes set, and the payoff pitch. Off speed, way out in front of it was Taylor. He goes down swinging for out number 2. And now a fly ball won't get it done for Mickey Gasper, as the catcher out of Bryant steps in with 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position.
Really made a great pitch when he needed to there at John Rudy. I'm really impressed with how the man from Hofstra has kind of settled down after a rough first inning to just give up 1 run in that frame, and then he's been very in control since then, especially in that very important at-bat to Taylor.
Gasper, switch hitter, batting from the right side against the southpaw Rooney. Runners on second and third for Brewster, as the first pitch from Rooney on the inner half of the plate for strike 1. 1-0 to score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field. That run coming in the top of the first inning on a Marty Costas RBI single. As the 0-1 pitch, this one lined out to left field, charging is Jake Slaughter. He dives, and he makes the catch. What a play by Jake Slaughter out in left field to rob Mickey Gasper of a base hit and at least 1 RBI. A nice play by the YD left fielder for out number ends the top of the 5th inning. No runs on no hits, one error, and 2 left on base for the Whitecaps in the top of the frame. We are through 4.5 here at Red Wilson Field. 1-0 still the score. Whitecaps on top of the Red Sox.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle.
Bottom of the 5th coming up here in Yarmouth. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Whitey Red Sox order, due up against Will Tribuker. His first pitch to Christian Koss, a breaking ball in at the knees for strike 1. 1-0 the score here. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Waddell here on the Whitecaps radio network. As an 0-1 fastball from Tribuker paints the outside corner, and the lefty out of Michigan quickly hit 0-2. He's been doing that a lot tonight, Carter, working ahead, getting those 0-2, 1-2 counts. Tribuker takes a quick pause to tie his shoe. Now he's ready. Toes the rubber, and the 0-2 pitch. Caught on and missed. He got Koss swinging. That's the 4th consecutive strikeout for Will Tribuker, and there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
From Vanderbilt, number 7, Connor
Will Tribuker.
Kaiser.
That's his 6th strikeout of the outing so far, 4th in a row. He has just been magnificent thus far for Coach Shevchik and these Brewster Whitecaps. As the first pitch now to Connor Kaiser. This one misses in the dirt for ball 1. Kaiser today 0 for 1, grounded out to Datris at third base in his first at-bat. As the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in at the knees. Count evens at 1-1. Tribuker doing a great job painting the lower part of the zone. Jeff January granting him that low strike, and he's taking full advantage of it. Tribuker through the windup and the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, this one misses high, and the count now 2-1 on Kaiser. Kaiser originally from Overland Park, Kansas. Plays his college ball at Vanderbilt. As the breaking ball from Tribuker misses right above the shoe tops, and the count now 3-1. Kaiser off to a great start for the Red Sox. Batting .314 on the season so far as the 3-1 pitch gets away from Gasper, and Kaiser will head on down to first base with Tribuker's 2nd walk of the ball game.
Yeah, just the 2 walks. Koss and Kaiser getting aboard for the Red Sox. It's been terrific to see Tribuker, and for him coming into this game, we were talking about the number of walks he'd surrendered. He had 15 and 20 in a third. 2 walks as we stand here in the 5th is pretty good in terms of improving over how he's done over the course of the season. He just looks so in control on the mound, a lot like he did, like you were saying, Aiden, the last time he pitched here in this ballpark.
And now the right-handed hitting first baseman Luke Miller digs in, as Tribuker will check on Kaiser at first base, but he gets back safely. 1-0 the score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox, 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Will Tribuker from the stretch, and his first pitch to Miller, a fastball that misses above the letters for ball 1. Miller grounded out to second in his first at-bat. That ended the bottom of the second inning. As the 1-0 pitch runner goes, breaking ball misses outside. The throw from Gasper is not in time, and Connor Kaiser swipes second.
That was a pretty good throw there from Gasper. I don't know if that was what you were about to say there, Aiden, but he just was able to evade the tag getting in there.
I'd say it looked like the throw beat him. It was just a little bit short of the bag, so the tag kind of had to come back towards Kaiser, who slid to the outside part of the bag and was in there safely. Now the 2-0 pitch to Miller. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 3-0 on Miller. There is some action in the YD bullpen. Looks like it's Tanner Graham, the right-hander out of UAB, warming up. As the 3-0 pitch from Tribuker. This one misses high, so back-to-back walks for the Red Sox, and they now have 2 runners on with only 1 out.
The third baseman from Arizona.
That'll bring up Nick
11,
Quintana.
Nick Quintana.
Red Sox third baseman today, and their number 8 hitter is now Austin Straub. Will take a little jaunt out to the pitcher's mound to have a chat with Will Tribuker. Tribuker's just been absolutely fantastic thus far. Had that walk in the bottom of the second inning to Koss, and now back-to-back walks here in the 5th inning. It was the only base runner so far for the Red Sox. It's just been entirely a pitcher's duel here at Red Wilson Field today, Carter. Only 2 hits for the Whitecaps. I mean, they've got the only run of the ball game, but both Rooney and Tribuker dueling southpaws.
Yeah, great day for some lefty pitching. I know the Whitecaps have kind of struggled against lefties so far this season, and we're able to scratch across that run in the first inning, and boy, that's looking a lot bigger now than it did when it scored in the first.
Well, Straub has retreated back to the Whitecaps dugout, and the first pitch from Tribuker to Nick Quintana. In at the knees for strike 1. Fastball right on the lower part of the zone there. Quintana today 0 for 1. Grounded out to Graffinino at shortstop to lead things off in the bottom of the 3rd as Tribuker comes set. And the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. Tribuker looking into his catcher, Gasper. Shakes off the first sign. Now gets what he wants. And the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses downstairs, now 2-1 on Quintana. Quintana, one of the Arizona Wildcats. One of 2 Wildcats on this YD Red Sox team. Plays under Coach Jay Johnson in Tucson. Tribuker ready, and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back into the parking lot here at Red Wilson Field, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quintana, one of 8 right-handed hitters in this Red Sox lineup today. The only lefty is Kyle Isbell. Tribuker gets ready. Runners go. 2-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. And Quintana goes down swinging for out number 2. That is the 7th strikeout of the game for Tribuker. But now the runners slide into 2nd and 3rd safely. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Red Sox.
And now for Tribuker, who's just got to be thinking about maybe getting number 8 here in this situation. I know it's a tough spot with 2nd and 3rd, but 2 men out. He's just got to try and get this guy.
Casala, the number 9 hitter in the Red Sox order, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to second base. And the first pitch from Tribuker way out in front of that one for strike 1. Casala, the catcher out of Jacksonville, came into the game batting .212 in 33 at-bats. As the 0-1 pitch from Tribuker misses high and outside. Good stop from Mickey Gasper to glove that one and keep it from going to the backstop. Count now 1-1 on Casala. Wind has died down a bit here at Red Wilson Field. Flag above the scoreboard out and left isn't moving, so the 1-1 pitch from Tribuker on its way. This one misses outside, now 2-1. One to nothing the score. Whitecaps on top of the Red Sox here in Yarmouth. That run coming in the top of the first inning on a Marty Costas RBI single to left. As the 2-1 pitch from Tribuker, fastball fouled back into the backstop. Now there are twos across the board here at Red Wilson Field. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sala fixing his gloves as he steps out of the box for a second, now digging back in. Kaiser leading off of third, Miller off of second, and the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground right back to Tribuker. He fields, throw on to first in time for out number 3. So the Red Sox get runners to second and third, but neither comes home. We are through 5 innings here at Red Wilson Field, and the Whitecaps still lead the Red Sox 1-0.
Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Waddell and Aiden Doyle.
Top of the 6th inning here in Yarmouth. 1-0 the score. Whitecaps on top of the YD Red Sox. Aiden Doyle and Carter Waddell here on the Whitecaps radio network. Marty Costas leading things off against a new YD pitcher. It's Tanner Graham, the right-hander out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And the first pitch, Costas sees, driven out to right field, moving towards the line as right fielder Costas, and that one will drop in fair. Digging for second is Marty Costas, and he'll get there standing up. He's 2 for 3 on the day. An RBI single in the first inning, and now a leadoff double here in the 6th.
Well, a great day at the plate for Marty Costas, and a great job to push that one the opposite way to right field. Really seeing the ball well these past few games, the man from Maryland. He's got a smile on his face as he hands his gear to Will Delgado, the first base coach.
You want to talk about seeing the ball well. 10 days ago, Marty Costas was batting .197. With that second hit of the ball game, he's up to .286 on the year. Really has just turned things around and been killing the ball as of late.
Yeah, not bad. That few ticks on the average.
Just a few. As Julian Infante steps in now from the right side, first baseman out of Vanderbilt. Costas leading off of second, and the first pitch, a breaking ball, misses high for ball 1. I don't know your perspective, Carter, but it seems so far today, Jeff January behind the plate has been granting the low strike, and the pitch up in the zone been a little bit more generous to the hitters. 1-0 now the count. as Graham comes set and the pitch. Another breaking ball in for a strike this time, and the count now 1-1.
Yeah, I remember when Jeff January was behind the plate. It was last time we were at Eldridge Park between the Whitecaps and the Firebirds, and got a couple of glares from Whitecaps hitters. But you're right, Aiden, that I think he's been pretty consistent today, at least in the two edges of his own that we've got a good look at here from our vantage point.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm sure Will Tribugert wants him to keep it up. As Graham will now fake the throw towards second. Costas dives back. Graham, 6'4", 215 pounds out of UAB. He's appeared in 10 games so far for the Red Sox, gone 1-1, and pitched to a 5.28 ERA in 15 1/3. Right-hander comes set, and the 1-1 pitch. This one hit on the ground softly towards first, fielded over there by Miller, and he flips to a covering Graham for out number 1. But Costas moves to third on the play, and now with 1 out, the Whitecaps have a run just 90 feet away.
Got the line on Rooney, and it's a beaut. 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits allowed, 1 run. It was earned. He walked the first 3 hitters that he faced, and that was it. 3 walks total for the 5 innings. He struck out 4.
Really just doing an excellent job settling in after those 3 walks that he allowed to start things off. Michael Curry now digging in from the right side. Designated hitter today for the Whitecaps. He's 0 for 2. But a chance to double their lead here. Infield in for the Red Sox as a first pitch breaking ball from Tanner Graham finds his zone for strike 1. Curry out of the University of Georgia was an all-star this year for the Whitecaps. Actually hit a home run in the game up at Spillane Field back on July 22nd as he swings to a breaking ball downstairs there from Graham, and the count now 0-2. Curry, one of the more powerful bats in this Whitecaps lineup, as a freshman and a sophomore, led the Georgia Bulldogs in home runs, led them in RBI as well this year, as the fastball from Graham misses outside for ball 1. Graham looking into the catcher Casala, now comes set as Costas leads off of third. And the 1-2 pitch inside, and it gets a piece of Michael Curry, says home plate umpire Jeff January. So now runners on the corners with 1 out for Hunter Bishop.
Seems like Hunter Bishop has found himself in a lot of big spots these past few games for Brewster. Obviously would love to avoid a double play here. That's what's on the mind of YD, I'm sure, with the runner on first.
Bishop with as much just raw power as he possesses. Got a big uppercut swing to him so he can really drive the ball, and you got to believe that's what he's trying to do here, lift it in the air. It's such a small ballpark, too, that even if he just lifts what would typically be a fly ball, it has the potential to carry out of here. So Costas leading off third, Curry off of first, and the pitch from Graham. Breaking ball misses down and in. Bishop lays off, and the count now 1-0. Bishop today 0 for 2, struck out looking to end the top of the first, and then grounded out to the first baseman Miller to end the 4th. Graham looking into Casala. Now comes set, and the 1-0 pitch. Another breaking ball hit on the ground, past the diving Miller and into right field. Scoring easily is Costas. Curry will be held at second, and Hunter Bishop with an RBI single to right, and it's now 2-0 Whitecaps.
We were talking about how he could hit the ball hard. Maybe he didn't lift that one, but certainly did give it a hard hit down the first base line. Terrific job by Hunter Bishop to come up big in that big spot. And in a game like this, where runs, despite the ballpark, are at a premium, that's a big hit for Brewster.
That is a huge hit for Brewster. Hunter Bishop with the RBI single scoring Marty Costas. That's Hunter's 11th RBI on the season. And now Kyle Datras digs in. Still only 1 out in the inning, and runners on first and second for Brewster. Right-hander Graham comes set, and the first pitch. Fastball fouled back into the backstop. 0-1 now the count. Datras today 0 for 2. Popped out to the first baseman Miller in his first at-bat before reaching on an error by the shortstop Kaiser to start things off in the 5th. Catcher Casala will walk out to the mound, have a chat with Tanner Graham. It's a short visit, though, as Casala retreats back to behind home plate. 0-1 the count, 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 the score. Whitecaps on top of the Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field. Graham working out of the stretch. Ready, and the 0-1. Fastball hit on the ground sharply towards third. Fielded by Quintana. Throw to second in time. Throw back to first in time. 5-4-3 goes the double play to end the top of the 6th inning. But the Whitecaps doubled their lead on a Hunter Bishop RBI single to right field. We're through 5.5 here at Red Wilson Field, and they lead this one 2-0. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network. Moving to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Red Wilson. Will Tribuker back out on the mound. 2-0 the score. Whitecaps on top of the Red Sox. It'll be the top of this Red Sox order due up. And the first pitch to Nico Horner skips home for ball 1. Aiden Doyle alongside Carter Woodeel here on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Horner today 0 for 2, struck out in his first at-bat. As young Asher Woods retrieves the ball from behind home plate. Bat boy today for the Brewster Whitecaps. As the 1-0 pitch, this one lifted in the air down the right side. Giving chase is Chandler Taylor and Julian Infante, but that one will drop foul and even the count at 1-1. Two to nothing to score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. Got 1 run in the top of the first, and then doubled their lead with a Hunter Bishop RBI single in the top of the 6th. This one lined into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. And the YD Red Sox pick up their first hit of the game here to lead things off in the bottom of the 6th inning on a Nico Horner single to right field. If anyone was going to do it, Carter, it's going to be Nico Horner.
Yeah, he took the words right out of my mouth. That's the guy who you draw up to whack a base hit at any point in the game. Still an excellent performance on the mound here from Tribuker.
Now Kyle Isbell digging in from the left side. He's a guy who Tribuker has set down both times he's come to bat via the K. First pitch swinging is the center fielder, and he fouls it back out of play behind home plate. Tribuker went 5 innings without allowing a hit here at Red Wilson Field. As Nico Horner leads off of first. Tribuker now will throw over, low throw, but a nice job by Julian Infante to keep it in front of him. Isbell, the center fielder for the Red Sox and the number 2 hitter out of UNLV. As a throw again over to first base, Horner dives back safely. Close play, but safe, says first base umpire Nick DeMarchi. Lefty-lefty matchup here. 0-1 the count as the pitch from Tribuker. Fastball misses high and the count evens at 1-1. Tribuker looking into his catcher, Mickey Gasper. Now holds the set. And the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground sharply in between first and second and into right field. Rounding second is Nico Horner, digging for third. The throw from Chandler Taylor is into Kyle Datris. They try and get the runner at second, and they get him. Kyle Isbell tried to take second base on the throw from right field, but Datris received the throw from Taylor and threw to Graffinino at second, and they tag out Isbell. But Horner able to move to third on the play, and with one down, the Red Sox have their first run of the ball game just 90 feet away.
That's another heads-up play from Kyle Datris. We saw one on the base pass earlier in this ball game, and we saw it there too. He could have tried to get that throw to third and then kind of tried to place the tag, but he knew he wasn't going to get Horner at third base. He ran up, took it, and was able to get the out at second. Great play for the man from UNC.
And now the number 3 hitter, Carter Ferris, digging in from the right side. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a strikeout swinging. First pitch breaking ball from Tribuker. Ferris way out in front of it for strike one. So now after going 5 innings without allowing a hit, Tribuker allowing back-to-back singles from the Red Sox. It's got to come back to the mean, though, at some point. The 0-1, another breaking ball from Tribuker. Cut on and missed by Ferris. That one down in the dirt. And the lefty quickly heading the count 0-2. Tribuker looking into Gasper. Now comes set and the 0-2 pitch. Tries to go back to that breaking ball but misses downstairs. 1-2 now the count on the Red Sox DH. Figure get him swinging twice with that breaking ball. Why not try it a third time? But Ferris able to lay off it now. 1-2 pitch from Tribuker. This one misses down and in, and now the count moves to 2-2. Shadows beginning to play more of a role here at Red Wilson Field. Third base and the left side of the infield are in the shadows, but the rest of the field still in the sunlight as this one's lined down the right field line, but slicing foul. So Ferris stays alive and the count remains 2-2. Ferris, the designated hitter, originally from Trussville, Alabama, decided to play his ball at UAB. As a fastball from Tribuker misses down and away, and the count runs full. Two to nothing to score. Whitecaps lead the Red Sox. And the payoff pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop from Gasper to hold the runner at third, but Carter Ferris moves to first base with a one-out walk, and now the Red Sox have runners at the corners. And there's some action in the Red Sox pen. Once again, looks like it's Carl Blum, right-hander out of Rutgers. Originally from Toms River, New Jersey, and now it looks like Jamie Shevchik will walk out to the mound. Haven't seen a signal yet. There is some action in the Whitecaps pen, but at this point, this looks just to be a mound visit from Shevchik. And now Shevchik will retreat back to the first base dugout, and Tribuker's still on the mound, so it is just indeed a mound visit. And the runners will go back to their bases. Shevchik just trying to go over the plan of attack against Jake Slaughter, the number 4 hitter in this Red Sox lineup.
Yeah, a lot of times when Jamie Shevchik is the guy that goes out there, he's not just talking to the pitcher, he's talking to the infield. Here's how we're going to handle this guy. Keep in mind that we got, Carter Ferris coming up. It's just like with Ferris on first base, he's a speedy-ish runner that we got to deal with. And remember, they ran a play last time we were here where they sent a guy for second and brought a guy through. Of course, it won't be Slaughter. They're sending in a pinch hitter, but all the same.
They're sending in Alfonso Rivas, who, if you want to talk about someone who has been a thorn in the side of the Brewster Whitecaps, it is Alfonso Rivas. He has 9 RBI on the season. 4 of them have come against the Brewster Whitecaps. Just continues to hit Whitecaps pitching hard. Left-handed hitter out of the University of Arizona. Looks at a first pitch fastball from Tribuker that misses just off the plate inside, says home plate umpire Jeff January. Runners at the corners here for the Red Sox. 2-0 to score. Brewster leads Yarmouth Dennis. 1-0 count on Rivas. 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. Tribuker from the stretch. Fastball. And Rivas went around, says Jeff January. So the count now 1-1. Rivas batting .275 in 33 games for Yarmouth Dennis. Does have a pair of home runs on the season as he hits this one high in the air to shallow center field. Going back is Nick Dunn battling the sun, and he puts it away for out number 2. And that'll hold Nico Horner at third base, so a big out there for Tribuker. And it was just 1 out away from getting out of the inning.
Yeah, Dunn really had the elements up against him there. The sun, the wind, everything that you can think of out there, and did a terrific job to keep track of that baseball. And for Tribuker, I know he's been striking guys out all day today. He's got 7 of them, but a pop fly is just as good as that situation. You just want to keep that runner at third base.
Christian Koss now digging in from the right side for the Red Sox. 0 for 1 on the day, struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Did reach on a walk in the second inning, as the first pitch from Tribuker misses high and outside for ball 1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning, runners on the corners for the Red Sox. Tribuker looking into Mickey Gasper. Now he's ready on the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in the inside corner, evens the count at 1-1. Koss getting the start in right field today for Scott Pickler. As the breaking ball from Tribuker skips home. Good block from Mickey Gasper to keep it in front of him, and now the count's 2-1. Koss from Riverside, California, decided to be one of the anteaters for UC Irvine. As the 2-1 pitch, right on the outside corner, and the count levels at 2-2. So Tribuker just 1 strike away from getting out of this bottom of the 6th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners at the corners. And the breaking ball misses down. Runner took off for second in a fake throw from Mickey Gasper, trying to get Nico Horner to come off of third, but he does not. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Red Sox.
That's the right play from Gasper. They've run that play before. The runner on third base, Horner, was itching to go home.
Payoff pitch from Tribuker. Fastball misses down and in for ball 4, so Christian Koss heads on to first base, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs here for Connor Kaiser.
And as great as it's been for Will Tribuker on the mound with those 7 strikeouts I mentioned before, that is the 5th walk that he's surrendered in this game.
This is his 5th walk and the 4th in the last 2 innings. So through the first 4 frames, he just had 1 and hasn't quite had the command that he had earlier in the ballgame these last couple of innings. As the first pitch now to Connor Kaiser misses high above the letters for ball 1. Kaiser today 0 for 1, grounded out to the third baseman for out number 2 in the 2nd inning. Did reach on a walk in the 5th. As the 1-0 pitch from Tribuker, this one lined into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Scoring is Horner. They're waving home Ferris. The throw from Chandler Taylor is in time. So Chandler Taylor throws out the potential tying run at home plate. Great throw from Chandler Taylor, but the Red Sox get a run on that Connor Kaiser single after 6 innings here at Red Wilson Field. Whitecaps 2, Red Sox 1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network.
We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field here in Yarmouth, Massachusetts. The Red Sox added a run in the bottom of the 6th inning, but the Whitecaps are still on top 2-1 as we start the 7th. A couple defensive switches to let you know about. Remember, we saw Rivas pinch hit for Jake Slaughter in the 6th inning, so that's got to be accounted for. Slaughter is gone. Rivas trots out to first base. The first baseman, Miller, moves to right field, replacing the right fielder, Koss, who moves to left field to replace Slaughter. Scott Pickler is notorious for doing this, for moving the fielders around. Got a ton of versatile guys on his team, so it's Koss, Isbell, Miller left to right in the outfield, Rivas, the new first baseman. It will be A.J. Graffinino to lead things off, and the first pitch from Tanner Graham misses low to the lefty to start things off from the righty Tanner Graham, so the count 1 ball and no strikes on the Whitecaps shortstop, who is 0 for 3, struck out his last time. Waiting on a 1-0 pitch, here it comes. It's cut on and missed, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Graffinino had a hard time getting his timing right against the starter John Rooney for the YD Red Sox. That strikeout came on a fastball. He took it for strike 3 after swinging and missing on a couple of breaking balls. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's a ground ball foul right side. So behind him, account again, 1 ball and 2 strikes is A.J. Graffinino against Tanner Graham. Graham goes to UAB. He's an Alabama native. A rising junior, had a 5.87 ERA for the Blazers this past spring. 5.28 is the ERA entering this game. The 1-2 pitch is fouled off. It rolls toward the right side, right over toward where Nick Dunn is standing on deck for the Brewster Whitecaps. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Whitecaps clinging to a 2-1 lead on a great day for the pitchers here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. Ready for the 1-2 pitch, the pitch. Misses outside, so the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on A.J. Graffinino. Graham was part of 3 different state runner-up teams as a high schooler. Never could quite get the big one. Runner-up 3 times, which has to be something. 2-2 is the count to Graffinino, who takes a moment to knock the dirt out of his cleats, reset himself, and now will dig in. Graham stares in, shakes off one sign from Casala, now gets the one he likes. Here comes the 2-2. It misses inside. To bring the count full, Graffinino kind of had to move out of the way a little bit, moving his midsection back, did the lefty hitter. And will now wait for the payoff pitch from Tanner Graham. Graham, here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Graffinino strikes out for the 2nd consecutive at-bat here, this one against Graham. And that's the first out of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Nick Dunn. Dunn is still looking for his first hit of this ball game, riding that 15-game hitting streak. In the 1st inning, he drew a walk and then was caught stealing. In the 2nd, he grounded out. In the 5th inning, he was hit with a pitch. So he's reached base twice, but has not recorded a hit. The first pitch to Dunn is an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike 1. So says Jeff January. Looked like that was one of those low strikes that we've been seeing Jeff January give these pitchers pretty consistently in this ball game so far. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Just misses up. So the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike on Nick Dunn. That walk that Dunn drew was the 8th walk that he has drawn in the 16 games where the streak has been going. The 1-1 pitch again misses just high. Counts 2-1, perhaps not as generous to the hurler there for Jeff January with that pitch up at the letters. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Nick Dunn. Here comes the pitch. It's hit hard on the ground right side. It just gets foul on the first base line. That one was fouled by maybe a foot. And the first baseman, Rivas, gave it a look, but it was in foul ground. So 2-2 the count. Those long shadows are creeping across the baseball diamond right now. The pitcher's mound and the batter's box are both in shadow, but right field is still plenty sunny. Similar to Stony Brook Field, the way things work here in Yarmouth. 2-2 pitch. Just misses off the outer edge. So the count full on Nick Dunn. Casala did try to frame that pitch, to pull it back into the outside corner, but didn't fool Jeff January behind the plate. So the count's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It misses up high for ball 4. So Nick Dunn reaches base for the 3rd time in this ball game. Still no hits for him. And the Whitecaps have a runner on first base with 1 man out. And now it'll be Chandler Taylor who will dig in for Brewster. Taylor has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, but we saw one that went foul. We saw one that was collected by the center fielder, Isbell. Last time up, he struck out. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Also stole a base in that first inning. He's sitting from the left side with Dunn aboard first base. Graham checks the runner. In fact, he'll throw down there, and it won't be in time as Dunn does dive back just ahead of the throw. So still waiting on a pitch to Chandler Taylor. Whitecaps are ahead in this ball game 2-1. They got a run in the first inning on an RBI single from Costas, then one in the top of the sixth on an RBI single from Bishop. Those have been the two Brewster runs. The pitch to Taylor is cut on and missed out in front of the off-speed offering there. To officially begin the at-bat count, no balls and 1 strikes on Taylor. The one Yarmouth Dennis run came in the bottom of the 6th inning. It was an RBI single from Connor Kaiser, though he was tagged out, or rather the runner from third was tagged out trying to come in and score. That was Ferris. Tying run tagged out at the play after a terrific throw from Taylor, who's at the bat now. 0-1 pitch, bounces off of home plate and gets behind. The catcher Casala. Dunn is into second on the wild pitch. Don't know where that ball went. Did that go up over the screen? Might have it. Wound up over by the press box area, or maybe got tangled up amongst the wiring up there. And if that's the case, we might see Dunn get another base, though. Umpires are going to talk to it. I think it is up there on the wiring out there. Well, they say every time you come to the ballpark, you see something you've never seen before. They're going to let Dunn, they're going to have him stay at second on a wild pitch. That was crazy. Here's Taylor. It's 1-1 on the Alabama man. The pitch misses inside. 2 on the count. Here at Red Wilson Field, unlike some of the other ballparks that you have, the cage, the metal cage surrounding home plate, is pretty wide and does taper in once you get toward the top. And there are some wires out there where a baseball could maybe get itself lodged. A speaker, cameras up there. A lot of stuff going on behind home plate next to the press box. 2-1 is the count on Chandler Taylor. Run around second, 1 out. Whitecaps ahead 2-1, top 7. The pitch is cut on and foul tipped into the glove of Casala. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Taylor. You can tell Taylor is itching to hit a ball hard. This is the way he's approached it all year. And so far he has really worked with that approach, leading the Cape League in homers coming into this ball game with 9. 2-2 is the count. Holding the set is Tanner Graham. Here comes the pitch. It's hit hard, left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Nick Dunn is heading around third base. He's going to be waved in home. The throw will come in, but it's going to come into second base. It's an RBI single for Chandler Taylor, and the Whitecaps extend their lead. It's now 3-1 Brewster.
You know, with all the home runs Chandler Taylor has hit, that might be the most impressive RBI that I think he's driven in this year. Pitch from Graham down and away. Taylor, he's, you know, a pull hitter. Obviously, we've seen him go the opposite way for a couple home runs, but that's just because he's so strong. But it tries to drive the ball to right field, tries to have this big uppercut swing. There, just went down and got it, shot it into left field. A great piece of hitting rather than, I'm Chandler Taylor, I'm ridiculously strong, let me just hit it as hard as I can.
So here is Mickey Gasper. Speaking of strong guys, he takes the first pitch up, does the switch hitter batting from the left side. It's 1 ball and no strikes. All 4 runs coming in this ball game have come via ribby singles, including that one from Taylor. He now has 25 runs driven in on the season with that RBI single to left. Waiting on a 1-0 pitch. Here comes. Check swing on a pitch that was up, and they're going to rule it just got a piece of his bat. So a bit of an unlucky foul tip for strike number 1. That got into the glove of Casala. Just did clip the wood of Mickey Gasper's stick. So 1-1 now the count on the Bryant Bulldog. Graham holds the set. Here comes the 1-1. It's in there for a called strike on the outer edge. Looks like Blum is still ready and waiting out there in the Red Sox pen. I know, Aiden, you mentioned him a couple innings ago that he was warming up. But so far, it looks like Tanner Graham has been the man in this 7th inning, even after giving up that run to Taylor on what was granted a good pitch. 1-2 pitch, they're going to go the first instead, and Taylor gets back easily. So still 1-2 on Mickey Gasper. We are in the bottom of, or the top of the 7th inning, excuse me, here in Yarmouth on a night that's becoming a little bit chillier than it was when it started, now that we're in the shade. Whitecaps ahead 3-1. 1-2 pitch is hit high in the air, foul territory left side. That's going to get out of play and into the stands. excellent crowd here at Red Wilson Field. One of the smaller ballparks that you're going to find on the Cape in terms of how many fans it can hold, but it is pretty full to the brim right now with Red Sox fans cheering on the 3-time defending champions in this league who are having another great season. 1-2 is the count on Gasper. Here comes the pitch. It's at high in the air, a pop fly left side. It's in foul ground. Moving over is the third baseman, Quintana, and he will make the catch. Nick Quintana almost ran out of room. They're going to say Ryan Smythe is arguing he was out of play when he caught it. He's hollering at the home plate umpire, Jeff January, whose call that was to make. Gasper is still in the batter's box, hoping that he was out of play. Here in Yarmouth, the out-of-play line and a line where fans can sit are two different things. There's an area where it's out of play, but there aren't any fans. And that's what Mickey Gasper is saying, is that he caught it in that zone, and that's what Jamie Shevchik is saying as he goes out to have a chat. And now Chandler Taylor is being granted second base.
I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know why Chandler Taylor would be granted second base if they're going to rule that it's an out. Maybe they're going to say he tagged up on the play. I'm not sure how he could tag up.
Unless they're saying he caught it in fairground play and then ran out of play, which then by taking
but that's not. He still caught the baseball. And in that situation, I mean, you know, if you see, you've seen big league plays where the guy goes into the stands after catching a foul ball. The other guys don't get extra base, and that, well, it's a runner in scoring position for Brewster. It'll be interesting to see if we get the scoring on point streaker from our official scorer, Brian Clemenson, to try and make some sense of that decision. But Gasper is gone, Costas is hitting, and Chandler Taylor is on second base. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Whitecaps ahead 3-1. Taylor's going for third. The pitch is low, and he gets in there safely with a stolen base. How do you like that? Chandler Taylor taking advantage of his advancement, and now is on third. That's the second steal of third that Chandler Taylor has in this ball game. So it's a runner on third and 2 men out. The pitch, as I mentioned, was low to Costas, so he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch is in there for a called strike, 1-1 the count. What an inning we've seen. We've seen a baseball get stuck in the wiring behind home plate, and we've seen a very strange decision from the umpiring crew. 1-1 is the count on Costas. Here comes the pitch. It's a high chopper toward the second base bag. Charging as the second baseman Horner. He barehands it, flips it underhanded, but it will not be in time. It's a short hop, and Chandler Taylor will come in to score on an RBI infield hit. Marty Costas with his 3rd hit of the game and his 2nd run driven in. He's now got 21 of those on the season RBIs, and the Whitecaps extend their lead to 4-1.
Well, that's just about how well things are going for Marty Costas right now. He hits one barely over the pitcher's glove, over towards the second baseman Horner, and it turns into an RBI single. I mean, he is just as hot as can be. Like I mentioned, 10 days ago, average at 197. This is his 3rd 3-hit game since then.
And Chandler Taylor was excited. He was crossing the plate, smile on his face, clapping his hands, knowing the Whitecaps were able to take advantage of what they were given, that opportunity. Here's Infante, and the righty checks the swing. He went around, and it was called a strike regardless, so it's 0-1 on Infante. Infante had a single in the first and has been quiet since then. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Rounded out his last time to the right side. Costas on first base, 2 men out. Whitecaps lead 4-1 in the top of inning number 7. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It misses up high. They're going to snap throw it to first base, and Costas dives back safely. That wasn't the most on-target throw from Casala, as the first baseman Rivas had to stay upright to retrieve it. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Costas 7 out of 9 stealing bases so far this year for the Whitecaps. Holding the set is Tanner Graham, waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Cut on and missed. Way out in front of that one was Infante. So Graham's ahead in the count 1-2 as he tries to work his way out of this 7th inning, where the Whitecaps have been able to put across a pair of runs on an RBI single from Taylor and then a little nubber from Costas that allowed a run to come in on an infield hit. 1-2 is the count. Graham holds the set and deals 1-2. Runner going for second. The pitch is swung on and missed, and that retires the side. They threw down to second for good measure, but the inning was over as Infante swung on and missed at that high fastball from Tanner Graham. But the Whitecaps get 2 runs in the 7th inning. They get 2 hits in the inning, and they leave 1 runner on. At the end of 6.5, it's time to stretch here at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, and the Whitecaps have a 4-1 lead. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. So the count is 0-1 on Cortez. Cortez so far this season for YD is hitting .270 with a .345 on-base percentage, 3 home runs, including one against these Whitecaps, and 15 runs batted in. 0-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. It is inside. That one hit right off the mitt of Mickey Gasper and went back to the backstop. Gasper kind of pounded his fist into his mitt there. But with nobody on, it's not going to matter too much. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Carlos Cortez. Here comes the pitch for the rising sophomore. It's hit hard down the right field, right to the second baseman, Dunn, and he fields and throws to first for the out. Very hard hit ground ball from Carlos Cortez, but he is retired 4-3 for out number 1. Bordner this year for the Whitecaps, this is appearance number 8 for him. Jamie Shevchik has done his best to use him in the highest leverage situations that the team can have, especially after Robert Broom left the team a day after the All-Star game was finished. And so far, Bordner's been up to the task in a 1.59 ERA in 11 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 6 walks, and 12 Ks for the Louisville Cardinal. Here's the righty Nick Quintana, and the pitch is a fastball in there for a strike on the outside edge to make the count 0-1. The Shadows are covering every infielder now except for the second baseman, Dunn. He is still in the sun, but won't be, I would think, after just a few minutes. The outfield's still sunny. 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes on Nick Quintana. Quintana's 0 for 2 today. Struck out swinging against Tribuker his last time up. That was the 7th and final strikeout victim against the Michigan Wolverine. 0-2 pitch coming. In there called. Strike 3 at the knees to retire Quintana. First strikeout for Sam Bordner. Got the low strike there. Terrific frame from Mickey Gasper behind the plate. That's out number 2 of the bottom of inning number 7.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen.
And we're going to have another pinch hitter here for YD as they're going to send up Drew Mendoza to hit for the catcher Casala. So this will be interesting to see how they handle this defensively once the 8th inning starts. Of course, Scott Pickler has never been one to shy away from complex defensive changes. The third pinch hitter that YD has sent up in this game is Mendoza, who hits him in 9 spot. The first pitch to him is a called strike, so the count is 0-1. Mendoza this year for YD is hitting .188, 1 home run, 8 runs batted in. He did start yesterday against the Whitecaps. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It misses low. Gasper not able to get the low strike there, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mendoza yesterday went 0 for 3, was replaced by Miller at first base. 1-1 coming. Just misses outside, so 2 balls and 1 strike. The count on Mendoza. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Whitecaps are ahead 4-1. Here in Yarmouth, it's just a picture-perfect day for baseball. Here comes the 2-1. It's roofed in there for strike number 2, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. I know Mario, our photographer, is working hard tonight, and she has got, I'm sure, some terrific photos of this game that you can find on our website when the game is over at BrewsterWhitecaps.com. It is just a gorgeous view here in the glowing hour part of the day. 2-2 pitch is a high pop fly, foul ground left side. That's going to tail out of play. That one had a lot of English to it. Tailing over where there are a lot of kids out there by the YD dugout on the left side, and the bullpen out there. A prized souvenir for one of them. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on Drew Mendoza. Bordner staring in. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Gasper for strike number 3. Back-to-back Ks to finish the 7th for Sam Bordner. He sends the Red Sox down in order in the bottom of the 7th. At the end of 7, the Whitecaps lead 4-1 here in Yarmouth on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Welcome back. Top of the 8th at Red Wilson Field. Whitecaps ahead 4-1 and 5 defensive changes for the YD Red Sox. Michael Curry's leading off for the Whitecaps, and he's going to get the first pitch from the lefty Tommy Henry. The pitch just misses low, 1-0. Rivas is now in left field for the Red Sox. He pinch hit, came in at first, and now he's in left. Cortez is now in right. He pinch hit, and Trainer is the catcher now for Casala. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed by Curry to make the count 1-1 strike. Luke Miller was pinch hit for Cortez, so he's finished. Casala, the catcher, is gone. Mendoza was the one who pinch hit for him, and he is now at first base. Count 1-1 on the righty hitter, Michael Curry. Here comes the pitch, and it's swung on and missed to make the count 1-2. Nice one down low from Tommy Henry. The numbers on Henry so far this year for YD, an 8.59 ERA. This is appearance number 6. 13 hits allowed in 7 1/3 innings. He's walked 7 and struck out 6 batters. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Curry. It misses outside, so it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That defense again for YD. In the outfield, left to right, it's Rivas. Isbell is still in center. Cortez is in right field. The infield, Quintana is still at third. Kaiser at short, Horner at second, and Mendoza is at first with Trainer behind the plate. The 2-2 pitch skips in front of Trainer, who blocks it. 3-2 the count on Michael Curry. Curry so far today is 0 for 2, was hit with a pitch his last time up against Tanner Graham. Graham worked 2 innings for the Red Sox, 4 hits allowed, gave up 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 2, also hit 1 batter. It was Curry. 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air, a pop fly behind home plate and foul ground over toward us, but it will run out of room as the catcher Trainer went sliding in, lost his footing there right toward the on-deck hitter for the Whitecaps, Hunter Bishop, and he looks to be all right. He was really giving that one a go. It landed just maybe 2 or 3 feet over the screen in foul territory, so nothing he could have done. And the count will stay 3-2 to the chortles of the fans over here in this section. And Tommy Henry gets ready. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, he got him. So Henry strikes out the first hitter he sees today. And that, okay, so they just announced another defensive change, and I was wondering, there was something that wasn't quite working in the defense, and that was it. Quintana has been removed from the game. Koss is now playing third base, so he is still in it. So Trainer comes in, and he will hit in Quintana's spot, 8th in the order. That's what was confusing me, and it has been cleared up by our terrific PA announcer here in YD, who's done an excellent job so far tonight keeping track of these defensive changes from Scott Pickler. The count is 0-1 on Hunter Bishop. So Koss is at third. Pitch to the lefty Bishop is a high chopper foul right side. No balls and 2 strikes now the count on Bishop. So far for him today, he has struck out in the first inning, popped out to first base in the 4th, and had a ribby single his last time up in inning number 6. At the time, that gave Brewster a 2-0 lead. It's now 4-1 Whitecaps. The pitch misses up high. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hunter Bishop. Tommy Henry, the new hurler, is out of Michigan. Teammates with the Whitecaps starter tonight, Will Tribuker. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Cut on and miss for strike 3. A big swing and a miss from Hunter Bishop, who will head back to the dugout pretty quickly. Back-to-back Ks to start things off for Tommy Henry on the mound. 2 gone here in the 8th.
Henry's doing an excellent job so far, changing speeds, getting a right-handed hitter in Curry and a left-handed hitter in Bishop. And now we'll see how he does against Datris, who's a little bit more contact-oriented, whereas Curry and Bishop are more swing-for-the-fences type guys.
So here is Datris hitting from the right side. The lefty kicks and deals. Fastball for strike 1. Henry's a rising sophomore. One of a lot of rising sophomores on this YD team, more than Scott Pickler was used to taking this year. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. 1-0-1 pitch. It misses low, 1-1. Henry is a Michigan native from Portage Northern High School in Portage, Michigan. Had a 3.19 ERA for the Wolverines in 21 appearances out of the pen this spring. 1-1 pitch is a high chopper toward the left side, but shortstop Kaiser throws to first base. It's a low throw, but it's scooped nicely by the first baseman Mendoza for out number 3 of this top of the 8th. The Whitecaps go down 1-2-3 in the 8th inning, capped off by that ground ball. And at the end of 7.5, the Whitecaps still lead 4-1. You're listening to Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake, a proud member of leading hotels of the world. We welcome you back to Yarmouth. We're entering the bottom of the 8th inning. Sam Bordner still on the mound for Brewster, and he will face the top of the YD order, starting with Horner, and the righty takes a pitch just low on the first pitch offering from Bordner to make the count 1-0. Brewster ahead 4-1 in this ball game, and Sam Bordner really mowed down the bottom third of the order when he entered the game. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Make the count 1-1. Got Cortez to ground out. Then Quintana and Casala both struck out. 1-1 pitch. Misses low, so the count 2 balls and 1 strike. On the leadoff hitter Horner. Horner broke up Will Tribuker's no-hitter in the top of the 6th inning with a single. Only hit he has, later scored in that frame. 2-1 pitch misses low, so it's 3-1. That was the one run that the Red Sox have been able to scrape across in this ball game. It came on an RBI single from Connor Kaiser. Carter Ferris tried to score from second on that play, but was tagged out at the plate. Would have been the tying run. 3-1 pitch is hit high in the air, shallow left field. Marty Casas heads in a couple of steps and camps underneath it, makes the catch for out number 1. Just got underneath that one a little bit, did Nico Horner. Looks like he timed that pretty well. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th, and now it's Kyle Isbell's turn. Isbell, the reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Year in 2016, rising junior from Fontana, California. A running rebel from UNLV. He's hitting from the left side. The pitch is in there for a called strike, so it's 0-1 to Isbell. Isbell also singled in the 6th, just like Horner. But he was caught stretching as the pitch is in there for a strike to make it 0-2. It was a great play from Datris. Was caught stretching 9-5-6. Datris was taking a throw from third, ran in to get it, and then threw to Graffinino, planted the tag on Isbell. That was it for him. 0-2 pitch coming along. Misses outside, and the count is 1-2. So far, it's been a pretty typical Sam Bordner appearance. For the tall righty out of Louisville, he's been calm and collected on the mound, and has yet to give up a base runner since he entered the game in the 7th. 1-2 pitch is hit high in the air into center field. Moving in a couple of steps is the center fielder Hunter Bishop, and he makes the catch. So a couple of baseballs that Red Sox hitters just got underneath. Out to Casas in left and Bishop in center to start this 8th. 2 gone.
And that's really just the 6th ball that the Red Sox have hit out of the infield, or at least up in the air. They've got 3 singles. They all went out of the infield. Couple of fly balls here in the 8th inning, and then a pop-up to Nick Dunn, which I'm not even sure got out of the infield, but up in the air.
First pitch misses low for ball 1 to Ferris. Yeah, they didn't get anything out of the infield in the first 5 innings against Will Tribuker. 1-0 the count. Here comes the pitch to the righty hitter, and DH hits one high in the air to shallow right field. Coming in and moving to his right or to his left is Taylor. He shades his eyes from the sun and makes the catch. So an equal opportunity inning for the Whitecaps outfield. They fly out to left, fly out to center, fly out to right, and Sam Bordner gets another 1-2-3 frame. We're through 8. This game's zipping right along here at Red Sox Field in Yarmouth. The Whitecaps still lead 4-1. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, starting the top of the 9th inning. It's 4-1. Brewster on top in this 9th frame. Due up for Brewster will be A.J. Graffinino, Nick Dunn, and Chandler Taylor. Pitch to Graffinino is swung on and grounded to the right side, scooped up by the second baseman Horner, who throws to first base for the out. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Tommy Henry, who remains on the mound, and that means Nick Dunn will come up with nobody on. Nick Dunn entered this game with a 15-game hitting streak and has reached base 3 times today, but has yet to record a hit. He walked in the first and was caught stealing, grounded out in the 2nd inning, was hit with a pitch in the 5th inning, and then walked again in the 7th. So it's all on the line here in the 9th inning for Nick Dunn with the Whitecaps ahead 4-1. The pitch to the lefty hitter is hit hard into center field. Moving over to center fielder Isbell. He's turning, he's looking, and that one is out of here! Nick Dunn with a solo home run over the center field wall here at Red Wilson Field. The hitting streak stays alive, and the Whitecaps get another run. The first home run of the season for Dunn, and it's 5-1 Brewster just like that.
I don't think I've ever seen the Brewster bench explode like it just did when Nick Dunn rocketed that ball out to center field. And what a perfect park to do it at, too. Last at-bat of the game, needing the hit to extend the hitting streak, and he does it in the grandest way possible. A home run to dead center field. This bench was counting down every at-bat wanting to get that hit, and they just exploded here in the 9th.
Here's Chandler Taylor. He shows bunt, takes the pitch low for ball number 1. A lot of his teammates out of the dugout to greet him. Tony Losi, Michael Curry, Julian Infante, a few of the guys with big grins on their faces to greet their teammate. It's now 5-1 Brewster, and Chandler Taylor takes a strike after offering a bunt again. Count 1-1. The third baseman, Koss, is very much in to guard the bunt inside the infield grass. 5-1 Whitecaps, top of the 9th. And here comes the 1-1 pitch to Taylor. It misses down and away, so the count is 2-1. So far on the night for Taylor, he has 2 runs scored to his name. Last time up had a ribby single in the 7th inning. Here comes the 2-1. In there for a called strike. Taylor not a huge fan of that call from Jeff January. Again, that was at the knees. That's been the part where hitters have kind of given Jeff January looks. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It misses low to make the count 3-2. Nothing January could do there. Jeff January, the son of the great Don January, one of the most respected Cape League umpires when he was in the league. 3-2 is the count on Chandler Taylor. Here comes the payoff. It's a high pop fly behind the plate and foul ground. The catcher Trainer whips off the mask, now gets under it, but he'll run out of room behind the plate. One whacked off of the netting above the press box there, and will kind of just hang out there. Count is still full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chandler Taylor, as Tommy Henry trying to win this battle. Henry's fastball has some
even reach as the ball got past Mendoza at first base, but I think the throw to second beat him there. It just got away from Connor Kaiser, who's the shortstop covering the bag, and Chandler Taylor on a ground ball to first base ends up at second.
We have not received an official scoring yet on that play, and they're going to score that an error, which is a tough error, but they're going to give it an error to the first baseman Mendoza, I would assume. That would be an E3 to allow Taylor reach. So the pitch misses low to Gasper, who's hitting from the right side. The switch hitter, count 1 ball and no strikes. Chandler Taylor has had quite the eventful day on the base paths today. He's got 2 stolen bases, had that strange situation where the baseball got caught up in the wiring on a wild pitch. There he goes for third base. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Throw down to third is in time. They got him. So Chandler Taylor's great day on the base paths comes to an end there. A terrific throw from Trainer behind the plate to get Taylor, and a great tag as well by Koss. Kind of had to reach across and whip that glove down, and just getting the outstretched arm of the Alabama outfielder. So Taylor is stealing third base. That's the 4th time that he's been caught stealing here, as Gasper hits it one high in the air, foul ground toward right field. That's going to land foul out of play. So 1-2 on Mickey Gasper. Gasper is 0 for 3 with a walk in this ball game, though has not been his best day just in terms of chance. Was robbed of a hit by a terrific play by the left fielder. At the time, it was Slaughter in the 5th inning. Of course, there have been 2 other left fielders in this game for Whitey. 1-2 pitch coming. Hit on the ground, through the middle. Diving is the shortstop, Kaiser. He comes up with it, throws to first base. It will not be in time. Kaiser was able to knock the baseball down, but couldn't quite transfer it in time. And that was all that Gasper needed to beat out the infield hit. So Gasper is aboard first base with his first hit of the game. And now here comes the red-hot Marty Costas.
Well, I'm sure Mickey Gasper will take it any way he can get it. Not the hardest hit ball, not the best hit ball, but he's been in a bit of a slump lately, and sometimes it's just a play like that, an infield single or a softball that you beat out that can get you going again, because he is one of the most important players in this Whitecaps lineup.
So here is Costas hitting from the right side. He's 3 for 4 today. The pitch skips in front of the catcher Trainer and squirts away to the left side, but Gasper will stay put. And the count is 1-0. Costas has a pair of ribbies. A single in the first drove in what was the Brewster Whitecaps' first run. He doubled in the 6th inning, and then an infield single in the 7th brought in their most recent run. Before that, Nick Dunn homer. It's now 5-1 Brewster here in the top of inning number 9. The pitch to the righty misses low. 2 men out. Runner on first base is Gasper. Infante standing on deck for the Whitecaps. Tommy Henry stares in. Now comes set and checks the runner over at first. Does the lefty. Here comes the 2-0 offering. It's hit on the ground, left side. It's going to get into left field for a base hit. Marty Costas with his 4th hit of the ball game. And the Whitecaps have first and second with 2 men out. Just a good piece of hard hitting there, just whacking that one on the pull side. And Costas is 4 for 5 on this ball game. Suddenly, this is becoming a great day for the Whitecaps offense here.
Yes, it is. 5 runs on 9 hits. Marty Costas 4 for 5 with a pair of RBI. Nick Dunn, obviously, with the big home run there to extend his hitting streak up and down this lineup. You've got RBI from 1 and 2 in the order. You've got 2 RBI from the number 4 hitter and an RBI from your number 7 hitter. That's what you want to see if you're Jamie Shevchik.
Here's Infante. The pitch to the righty is cut on and missed. Infante singled in the 1st inning, but has not had a good day at the plate since then. 2 strikeouts. He's 1 for 4 all told on the game. As Mike Curry digs in the on-deck circle for Brewster. 0-1 the count to the righty Julian Infante. Gasper on second, Costas on first with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The pitch is lifted in the air to right field. Coming in is the right fielder Cortez. Still coming in, and he makes the catch over toward the foul line, moving to his left. And that retires the side in the top of the 9th. The Whitecaps get a run on a solo shot from Nick Dunn to keep the streak alive. They get the run on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on. At the end of 8.5 innings of play, the Whitecaps down to their, or the Red Sox are down to their final 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th. That'll be coming up when we come back from this break. Brewster's ahead 5-1. You're listening to the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network. Now, back to Brewster Whitecaps baseball. Here are Carter Wedeel and Aiden Doyle. We're starting the bottom of the 9th here in Yarmouth. The Whitecaps lead 5-1. YD down to their final 3 outs, and the man who's going to try and get those 3 outs is Ryan Sear, making his Whitecaps debut. The righty out of Mississippi State, originally the rising junior from Leawood, Kansas. Went to Blue Valley High School in Stillwell, Kansas, coming in for his first appearance as a Brewster Whitecap. One of those guys that Jamie Shevchik and his staff brought in to kind of replace the dearth of arms they have, or fill that dearth, I should say. Got to learn the vocabulary words. For Brewster, they lost a bunch of guys due to various reasons. Robert Broom isn't here anymore. Davis Daniels not here anymore. Ryan Avadano's here anymore. The list goes on. And so he's one of the guys that they were brought in. Sear went .646 ERA for the Mississippi State Bulldogs this spring in 6 games, 2 of them starts. 15 and 3rd innings pitched, 17 hits allowed, 9 walks, and 14 Ks. He was dismissed from the team in March for a violation of team rules. He will face Alfonso Rivas, Christian Koss, and Connor Kaiser here in the bottom of the 9th. Rivas came in as a pinch hitter for Jake Slaughter in the 6th inning and has since played a couple of defensive positions. Right now he's out in left for YD. He's hitting from the left side. The pitch is in there for, no, it's just a bit up, so says Jeff January, and the count is 1-0. Sear staring in, gets a sign from Gasper. 1-0 pitch is foul back to the screen, makes the count 1-1. Sear was first recruited over at Mississippi State by Nick Mingione. At the time he was at the Bulldog staff. Now he's the head coach at Kentucky. Had a terrific debut season with the Wildcats. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It misses low to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Mingione was the first one who saw Sear played in person, said to the staff, hey, this is a kid we can bring in. 2-1 coming. Ground ball toward the right side. It misses foul, first base side out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Rivas. Rivas popped out to second base when he came in as a pinch hitter in that 6th inning. Came in a big spot with a couple of runners on. And got the pop fly to Tribuker. Was 1st and 3rd at the time. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Foul tips one back behind the plate. Nice job by Rivas to just stick the bat out there. It was something that he was way out in front of and just sort of waved at it and got a piece of the baseball. So he stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Here comes the offering from Sear. Swing and a miss, he got him. Out in front of that one as well was Rivas, and he couldn't get a piece of that. So Sear, in his first at-bat as a Brewster Whitecap, gets a strikeout.
Well, welcome to the Cape Cod Baseball League, Ryan Sear. Got as good an introduction as you can get, striking out the first batter he faces.
And now it's Christian Koss's turn for YD. Koss was in the starting lineup for the Red Sox, but he's played 3 different positions today as he fouls the first pitch over toward the right side. Originally, he was in as the right fielder, then he moved to left field, and then he moved to third base, and that's where he is now. On a Scott Pickler coach team, you always have to make sure you got plenty of ink in your pen when you're scoring the game. 0-1 is the count on Christian Koss. Here comes the pitch to the righty. Just misses outside, says Jeff January. 1-1 the count. We're in the bottom of the 9th here in Yarmouth. The Whitecaps trying to slam the door. They're ahead 5-1 in this ball game. 1-1 pitch coming. Swing and a miss again. Out in front of that one was Christian Koss. Sears doing a terrific job of changing speeds on these Red Sox. In his first appearance as a Brewster Whitecap, count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sear now gets the sign that he likes from Mickey Gasper, kicks and deals 1-2. It skips low in the dirt to make the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brewster is looking for their first victory against YD this year. They're the only team on the Cape that they haven't beaten. They're 0-4-1 against the Red Sox this season. They got a tie in their first meeting here at Red Wilson Field 7-7, and then last night they played as well at Stony Brook Field, and Brewster lost that game 4-2. Jamie Shepchick guaranteed a win before this game. Here comes the 2-2. It misses up high to make the count 3-2, and so far the Whitecaps have played like a team that was confident they would pull out the victory. We've seen 5 Brewster runs that have been driven in by 4 different players. The pitch misses outside, so the 3-2 offering misses for ball 4. Koss advances to first on a walk. So sticking to the 3 true outcomes so far is the man from Mississippi State, Ryan Sear, a strikeout and a walk to start things off. And now it's Connor Kaiser's turn. Kaiser, one of 3 YD Red Sox to stay where they were on the field when the game started. He and his fellow middle infielder Horner are still there, the second baseman, and Isbell is still out in center for YD. But it's Cortez on deck for the Red Sox. The pitch. In there for a called strike at the knees. Again, the low strike given by Jeff January behind the dish. And the count is 0-1. The sun is almost set here at Red Wilson Field. You can still just see it if you look over behind the plate toward the third base side. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front of a pitch that was low in the dirt. And the count is 0-2 on Connor Kaiser. Just been a gorgeous day for baseball, and the Whitecaps trying to improve things by getting a W. Jamie Shepchick has said that the record doesn't really matter a whole lot for the rest of the season. Doesn't care about the seeding, who he plays. Just as happy that they're in the playoffs. Knows either way they're going to play a very good team. But in this ball game, Jamie Shepchick trotted out his best lineup, and it's had a good day. 5 runs on 9 hits for Brewster and no errors for the Whitecaps. Waiting on an 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It bounced in front of Gasper, but there's a runner on first, so we won't need to throw it to first or anything. That's the second out. Two strikeouts in this bottom of the 9th inning for Sear.
Yeah, he's looked good so far, really showing off a nice sharp breaking ball, although has his hands full here with Carlos Cortez. He's stepping into the box from the left side, but just one more out for these Whitecaps, and they will have beaten the YD Red Sox for the first time this season.
Cortez, as you mentioned, Aiden, a lefty hitter. He had a ground ball in his only at-bat so far in this ball game. He was pinch hitting for Miller. The pitch misses down and in on an opening fastball from Sear. And the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Sear was in the Great Lakes Collegiate League last summer with the Lima Locos. Was a starter for them. A 133 earned run average in 5 starts. 1-0 pitch misses low in the dirt. Looked like that was another heater from Sear. The count, 2 balls and no strikes. We're in the bottom of inning number 9. 2 men out. Runner on first base for the Red Sox. They trail 5-1. Brewster looking to move to 19, 20, and 2 on the year with the W. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It misses inside to make the count 3-0. Still waiting for our first ball in play against Ryan Sear in his debut appearance as a Whitecap. A strikeout, a walk, and another strikeout so far. Waiting on a 3-0 to Cortez. Here it comes. In there for a called strike. Cortez was taking all the way. That looked like it was on the inner half. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Now on the man from South Carolina. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Hit on the ground, right side foul. Whizzing past Tyler Gillum, the first base coach for the Red Sox. Gillum is one of those first base coaches who will try to make a play on it if it heads his way, but that time was out of his reach. So the count is full with 2 men out. That will send Christian Koss from first base. But with the tying run still a couple hitters away, certainly will not be pushing it. 5-1 Whitecaps, bottom of the ninth, 2 men out. Waiting on a 3-2 pitch from Sear. Here it comes. It's lifted into shallow left field toward the foul line. Coming in is the left fielder Casas. His hat flies off. He dives and he can't make the play. It bounces off of his glove and into foul territory. It's a foul ball. Marty Casas was hustling from the word go. His hat flew off maybe a quarter of the way towards the ball. He dove and it just popped right out of his mitt. It's a loud foul ball.
You got to love the effort, though, if you're Coach Jamie Shevchik or a Whitecaps fan. Marty had a lot of room to cover there and was able to get there, almost make the catch. Dove, full extension, head first, and the ball just off the end of his glove.
So it's still 3-2 on Carlos Cortez. With a runner aboard first base and 2 men out. 5-1 Whitecaps, bottom 9. The 3-2 pitch is hit hard down the line in right field. It lands foul. And so we'll do it again. Carlos Cortez trying not to be the last out here in this ball game. YD trying to avoid falling to 25-14-1 with a loss. Right now they're even in the loss column with Orleans entering tonight for the top spot in the East. 3-2 pitch. Is hit high in the air to center field. Moving back a bit is the center fielder Bishop, still heading back. Now he's under it, and he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Whitecaps win this ball game 5-1. A terrific game for the Whitecaps offense, and the pitchers did their job as well. Just 1 run on 3 hits for YD in this game. And for Brewster, after a tough loss to handle yesterday when their B squad was sent out to start the game, and the second unit came in later on. This is a big win for Brewster to kind of show that they've got the confidence, as Jamie Shevchik bows toward us here in the broadcast booth, saying that is he made good on his guarantee that he made to us in yesterday's game. He got the W, tips his cap. Great to see that from him, a big smile on his face. And the Whitecaps win this. What are the takeaways here from this ball game, Aiden?
Well, I think the confidence is the biggest one. Is that, yes, this is a team that showed today what they can be. Because think about it, Will Tribuker is a guy who's been typically used in a long relief role for this team, maybe a spot start, and he went out there and pitched brilliantly today. 6 innings, giving up just 3 hits, 1 run, struck out 7, and then turns it over to the bullpen. Bordner and Sear just shut down the Red Sox over the last 3 innings, and you look at this team offensively what it can be. Nick Dunn with the home run, Marty Casas 4 for 5. Hunter Bishop with an RBI single. He contributed. Chandler Taylor going the other way with an RBI single. This is this team about as well as they can play, and it shows that when they play this well, think about it, they didn't even have one of their top 1 or 2 starting pitchers going today, and they were still able to beat arguably the best team in the league, depending on who your choice is between YD or Orleans. 5-1 at their place. That is a huge win and gives this team the confidence that, yes, they can beat anyone moving into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm sure Jamie Shevchik is going to be happy when he talks tomorrow after this game, and I know that all y'all listening, you want to hear Jamie Shevchik talk tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the player or players of the game as well on the Whitecaps postgame show. That's coming up right after this break. Once again, Brewster gets the victory 5-1. They've got that notch in their belt. They have beaten YD. But they have another tough opponent coming up in their next ball game 2 days from now in Orleans. We'll talk a little bit about that as well on the post-game show. Stay right where you are. Whitecaps win it 5-1. Post-game is coming up right after this. You're listening to Brewster Whitecaps Baseball on the Whitecaps Radio Network. Don't go anywhere. The Whitecaps post-game show is coming up right after this.
That was huge for us. It's huge for the momentum going into tomorrow.
Only on the Brewster Whitecaps Radio Network. We welcome you back to Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. The Whitecaps 5-1 winners today, and they did it behind 6 strong innings by their starter tonight, Will Tribuker. 6 innings, 3 hits, just 1 run allowed, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts, and he is with Mora.
Thanks, guys. Here with Will Tribuker, 7 strikeouts, arguably your best day on the mound. How'd you feel out there in your start today?
I felt good. Me and Mickey were working really well behind there. We were in sync the whole game, getting ground balls and making the defense work. They made a couple nice plays behind us and kept us in it.
This is a YD team you guys hadn't beat until today. How did it feel to kind of stifle this offense that has given you guys problems in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. This year we've been doing well. We've clinched playoffs and stuff, so I think going into that, just trying to get the best seed as we can, and obviously beating YD was a big win for us. You
have played multiple roles on this team, coming out of the bullpen, had a couple starts. What have you seen, and how have you grown as a player in your time in the Cape League?
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, just going out there and doing my thing, throwing strikes when I can, and I think this team, we have a lot of good pitchers on this team, a lot of come and go, but I think the guys we got now, I think that's going to give us a good shot to make it as far in playoffs as we can.
All right, thanks so much. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Maura. The totals from this game: Brewster with 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 9 runners left on. YD had just the 1 run on 3 hits, 2 errors. They left 6 runners on base. Will Tribuker was the winning pitcher in this ball game. He's now 1-2 on the season. John Rooney, the starter for YD, took the loss for the Red Sox. His record drops to 2-1. With the win, Brewster is now 19-20-2 on the season. We'll see how the game goes with Chatham tonight. They're really neck and neck with them in the loss column entering the games tonight. They're battling it out for the 3 seed in the East. YD is in a battle for the 1 seed, and they take the loss. They're now 25-14-1 on the season are the YD Red Sox. They've got a game here against Bourne tomorrow. Brewster is off. Their next game will come against the Orleans Firebirds. It'll be a TV game on Lower Cape TV. You can watch it right here on YouTube. The game starts at 4 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock. It's an August game, so it's up a little bit earlier than it usually would be. Don't want the game to get cut short because of darkness, so pushing the start time up just a tad. And it's a big game for the Whitecaps against the Firebirds. What do you think that Brewster could take away from that game heading into or their next ball game?
Well, I think, again, it's just confidence because these YD and Orleans teams are neck and neck. They've beaten Orleans before, and again, yes, that was opening night way back on June 14th. So to beat them at against the Firebirds on Tuesday, that would be huge going into playoffs as well because they're facing one of those 2 teams in the first round.
All right, here is Whitecaps head coach Jamie Shevchik with Mora.
Well, guys, I'm here with Jamie Shevchik. After the game, you looked over us and gave a little bow because you made the prediction. Do you got any more bold predictions for us?
Nope, I saved them. I pick and choose when I'm going to use those, and because I know I'm always going to be right, so I don't hand those out lightly.
Will Tribuker, Sam Bordner, and a new guy, Sear, on the mound today. What did you see from your pitchers?
It was a great start by Will. We're trying to find who that second guy or third guy is going to be to start in the playoffs, and I think, Will may have earned the right to get in there and do that today. I mean, that's one of the better starts that we've seen all summer long. I've seen, from Will have an awful start not too long ago, and for him to bounce back and pitch like he did today, I mean, he owned both sides of the plate, mixed in his breaking ball when he needed to. Today was just a great day. I mean, to see Nick Dunn continue his, his streak, Marty again is carried our offense for the most part. It was just a great day in general.
I was just going to ask you about that. 2 Maryland Terrapins really stepping up for this team. What's it like to see that kind of leadership from those 2 guys?
Well, they're playing their best baseball at the right time, and if we're going to do anything in the playoffs or make a run at anything, our guys need to be playing their best baseball, and I think we're there. We're almost there. Guys like Nick and Marty, Chandler Taylor still doing what he needs to do. A couple of neat guys need to catch fire a little bit, but when you get into playoff baseball, anybody can win. So we just want to make sure that we're peaking at the right time.
When Nick Dunn hit that homer, the entire dugout kind of came out, was really excited for him. What's it like to see that kind of team support for a guy who's really been a leader on this team?
This is the time of year where everybody kind of is pulling for each other. In the beginning of the year, for the first couple of weeks, nobody knows each other. The team chemistry isn't there, but, hey, we're in the playoffs in a couple of days. The guys are still here. They're still working hard, and that's all we can ask for them. So what we might or might not be able to do in the playoffs, I have a good feeling about it. I think it's going to be fun as long as these guys stay loose and they stay in it.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Maura, and everybody. All smiles in the dugout, including Michael Curry, who is standing behind that interview there as Maury was periscoping it, but a lot of takeaways here, and you have to like a lot of confidence there from Jamie Shevchik talking about playoff time. Not just with Will Tribuker personally about putting him in the playoff rotation before the team. He managed to say that the team is peaking at the right time. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think they're playing. They may not be showing, their best baseball, but they're playing, I think, the most complete baseball, getting contributions from everyone up and down the lineup. Earlier on the season, they may have beaten certain teams, but it seemed like it was one or two guys always carrying the load. Mickey Gasper comes to mind. I mean, he carried this offense for the first couple of months of the season. And A.J. Graffinino's another one who's playing great. Those guys have kind of...
Nick Dunn did for a while as well.
Yeah, those guys have kind of dropped off a little bit with the exception of Dunn, but now you're seeing contributions up and down the lineup, different guys stepping up. It seems like now every game that they win, it's a different player who's stepping in and producing for this team. A different star of the game, if you will, every night. And that's something that, going into the playoffs where it's just a best of three, where one loss can doom a team, if that one person who had been carrying the team at the beginning of the year goes cold, that would always result in a loss. Now you don't necessarily have that problem because someone else is going to step up and carry the load. 5
RBIs in this game for Brewster for their 5 runs that they scored. They were driven in by 4 different players. Nick Dunn had the homer. Chandler Taylor had a ribby single. We saw an RBI single from Bishop as well, and then, of course, 2 RBIs for Marty Costas tonight. The Whitecaps win it 5-1. Jamie Shevchik is happy. The dugout is happy. One of the most complete wins the Whitecaps have had all year. And just a few days out from playing time, this team is feeling good. They'll be back in action on Tuesday. No ball game tomorrow. The team will take the day off. Can't feel better going into a day off for this Brewster Whitecaps club. The game on Tuesday will be at home. They'll be facing the Orleans Firebirds, and it will be on television on Lower Cape TV, Channel 99, and streaming live right here on this very YouTube stream. Again, the game starts at 4 p.m. because it's an August game. The game on the 3rd will also be on TV against Harwich, and that too is a 4 o'clock game. So if you're making plans, it's 4 o'clock at Stony Brook for the last 2 home games of the year and any playoff games that we see as well. That'll do it for us. For Carter Woodeel, Aiden Doyle, and Morris Sheridan, I'm Carter Woodeel. The Whitecaps again win this game 5-1. So long from Red Wilson Field, and we will see you Tuesday. Thanks for listening.